In a court, today is Tuesday, October 1st, and we're calling to order the City of Carson Housing Authority, Successor Agency Financing Authority, and City Council. It is now 5:02. In accordance with the Americans with Disability Act of 1990, if you require a disability-related modification or accommodation to attend or participate in this meeting, including auxiliary aids or services, please contact the city clerk's office at 952-1720 at least 48 hours prior to the meeting. Our rules of decorum. Treat everyone courteously. Listen to others. Exercise self-control. Give open-minded consideration to all viewpoints. Focus on the issues and avoid personalizing debate. Embrace respectful disagreement and the dissent as democratic rights that are inherited components of an inclusive public process and roles for forging sound decision. Our rules of decorum will be, are they on the board tonight? Or do I need to read them? Rules of decorum. It's on the agenda. No person attending a public meeting shall engage in disorderly or boisterous conduct, including but not limited to applause, whistling, stamping of feet, booing, or making any loud, threatening, profane, abusive, personal impediment or slanderous utterances that disturbs, disrupts, or otherwise impedes the orderly conduct of the meeting. All remarks by members of the public shall be addressed to the mayor or the chair and not to any other member of the public or any single council, board, commission member unless in response to a question from that member. Signs, placards, banners, and other similar items shall not be permitted in the audience during the public meeting if the presence of such items disturbs, disrupts, or otherwise impedes the orderly conduct of the meeting. All persons attending a public meeting shall remain seated in the seats provided unless addressing the body at the podium or entering or leaving the meeting. All persons attending a public meeting shall obey any lawful order of the presiding officer to enforce the rules of decorum. The public may address the members of the city council on any matters within the jurisdiction of the city council, on any items on the agenda of the city council during the designated public comment period. There will be two oral communication sessions, one for agendized items and one for non-agendized items. The public viewing is available live stream on the city's website, www.carsonca.gov, or on YouTube, youtube.com/c says City of Carson, California official YouTube site, or by cable TV Spectrum Channel 35 and AT&T Channel 99. Written communications may be dropped off at the city clerk's office in the white box outside of City Hall. The cutoff time to submit any written communications is at 3 p.m. on the day of the meeting. Written communications dropped off at the city clerk's office or in the white box or any emails received will not be read aloud at council meetings, but will be circulated to the city council. You may email your public comments to cityclerk@carsonca.gov. The cutoff time to submit any email communication is 3 p.m. on the meeting day. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Councilmember Rojas.
Our machine's not working? Or-
Present.
Oh, I didn't do that.
Okay, I already read them.
Okay. Excuse me, Councilmember Deere,
Present.
Councilmember Hicks,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Hilton, Mayor Davis Holmes.
Present.
Thank you.
We have a flag salute by Councilman Hicks.
Everyone please stand. Face the flag. Ready, begin. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're going to have an invocation by David Figueroa from Calvary Chapel, South Bay. Welcome to our council meeting.
you, Father, not by anybody else. Thank you for everything you're doing in our lives, Father. Just continue to pour upon us, Father, your spirit and your wisdom, Father. And we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so very much. Closed session items 2 through 4. Madam Clerk, are there any comments for closed session items?
No, Madam Mayor.
Madam City Attorney, could you report on closed session items, please?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. A closed session will be held pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6 with City Manager and Assistant City Manager regarding labor negotiations with AIM, CPSA, AFSCME Local 809 and 1017, as well as unclassified management. A closed session will be held pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D1 to confer with legal counsel regarding pending litigation to which the city is a party in the matter of Cam Carson versus City of Carson, case number 20 STCV 646. And a closed session will be held pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D2 or D3 and E1 because there's a significant exposure to litigation in one case. That concludes my report.
Thank you. We're going to recess the closed session. Should be back by 6 o'clock at the latest. Okay. So we're going to recess. Thank you. We're going to reconvene to open session. Madam City Attorney, report out on closed session, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Where's my agenda? Sorry. Got it here. The council met pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6 regarding labor negotiations with AIM, CPSA, and AFSCME Local 809 and 1017, as well as unclassified management. No reportable action was taken. The council met in the matter of Carson redevelopment Cam Carson LLC versus City of Carson, case number 20 STCB 1646. No reportable action was taken, and the council met pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D2 or D3 and E1 because there's a significant exposure to litigation in one case and no reportable action was taken. Thank you.
Thank you. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce our new captain of the Carson Sheriff Station, Elise Norman. Turn on the mic, please. That's off. I can't hear you like, there you go.
Touch this. I'm good? Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm glad to be here. Good evening. I wanted to, first of all, thank you all for giving me the opportunity to be captain at Carson Station. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Madam Mayor, as well as Dr. Hilton, Mayor Pro Tem, Councilman Hicks, Deere, and Rojas. Thank you for the opportunity. I realize that this is a process of selecting me as captain of Carson Station, and it's been arduous as well as time-consuming. I realize that the selection process was presented, you were presented qualified folks and very good candidates, so I do appreciate this opportunity. I want to also express my gratitude for the trust you placed in me as a captain of this wonderful station. I feel like I'm certainly returning back to my home base because I worked here at Carson for over 10 years as a deputy as well as a sergeant. my experience here at Carson Station included working at the parts team, at the cops team while I was here, as well as the summer enforcement team. In addition to that, I have also graduated from Cal State University Dominguez Hills, where I obtained my Bachelor's of Science in accounting. In addition to that, I have my master's in organizational leadership. I want to also give you a couple events that we actually, some of the things that we've done within the last couple, within this month. We have participated in a use of force meeting with our team. We have been, we had a shop with a cop at Target on September 25th, where we actually shop with 5 youth within the city here at Carson, and that was a bunch of fun. In addition to that, we had a town hall meeting with Councilman Deere at Veterans Park on September 25th. We're also attending a club meeting on October 2nd, and I wanted to also bring to your attention that we have an active shooting training on Thursday, October 3rd, and this is scheduled early in the morning at South Bay Pavilion Mall. So I'm honored to have the opportunity to connect with each of you and discuss the role and discuss my role in law enforcement. And I just got to say, overall, I'm just happy to be back home. Thank you.
Thank you. Stay there for a few minutes. I think our city manager had some comments. Then I'll open it up to my colleagues right after.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to introduce our Director of Public Safety for a brief public safety announcement. And so, Ms. Nora Garcia.
Hello, good evening, Madam Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, members of the City Council. At the last council meeting, there was a security breach by a member of the public where he trespassed without permission into the dais. Employees and council members alike felt threatened. The city is taking this matter very seriously, and protection of our employees and our city elected officials will be taken very seriously. The measures already that you can see that are in place are additional sheriff's deputies, again, thanks to our partners at the Sheriff's Department, access control readers onto both doors, onto the dais. And the Sheriff's Department is investigating the matter and will be taking further action if necessary. That concludes my report.
And you may want to remind the members of the public that the rules of the decorum that were read at the beginning of the meeting, no one should be standing. Everybody who is here to speak should take a seat, and they will be called if they want to speak, but no one should be standing in the doorways, even in the back. That's part of our rules of decorum. And the sheriff will remove members who are standing.
So everyone that's in the doorways, that's in the back, you need to come in and have a seat, or you can sit in the lobby area. But if you're inside the chambers, you must be seated. Anyone that's not seated, we will have our sheriff department give you a friendly escort out. Not people with badges, of course. I want to thank you for that. It's unfortunate that we had to go to these measures, but it's too much going on. And so, Captain, I want to say welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
I work with you on the park enforcement team, and you are a long-time resident. I mean, been in the city forever. And I'm looking for great things for you, and I'd like to schedule a meeting with our staff to have a one-on-one with you at some point in time here in the near future. I just found out that our captain is being shared by Luna. She's stepping down from her other position. So when is that transition going to be complete? Do you know?
It is happening as we speak. I anticipate to completely be here at Carson within a week.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
MPT.
Well, just wanted to say welcome home, and we're grateful that you're here, excited about the possibilities of what's going to go on at the station, and just welcome home.
Thank you, Dr. Hilton.
Councilman Deere.
Thank you, Captain. Again, I appreciate you coming to the town hall meeting that I put together for the public, and they were very impressed with you. They
you,
told
sir.
me afterwards, as I am. And I'm just really looking forward to working together with you to make Carson a safer city. We have a lot of challenges. Just was it last night, helicopters and patrol cars zooming to a few blocks from my house, and Moneta and Carson Street. And then, those are activities that take place because we maybe need to invest more in law enforcement. And so as I shared with you at the town hall meeting, you can count on me to be there for you when you need help.
I appreciate this, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Councilman Hicks.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. To Captain Elise Norman, welcome to the city of Carson. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Understanding that we're going to count the days you're here because most people who come into that position end up moving on. So I just want to say to you, welcome to the city of Carson. A much success in your career here in the city, and that, as has been stated earlier, this is be a challenge, but I think you're up for that challenge, and you came across very positive and very well versed. And one of the key components was that you are a Toro as myself.
Thank
Go
you, sir.
Toro. Thank you.
you.
Thank you. To the councilwoman.
Yes, welcome home, Captain Norman.
Thank you,
and
ma'am.
I too would like to meet with you one-on-one, and nice to see my family in blue. And for those of you who don't know that, that is family in law enforcement. So
Yes.
I am looking forward to working with you, and congratulations. Welcome home.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. And you can get our cell numbers from staff because we like to be notified of everything. We're a nosy council.
I'm okay with that.
Thank you so much.
hmm
Welcome home.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate your time.
Next, we will have a report from Chief Kane of the Los Angeles County Fire.
This is Chief Munoz filling in for our Assistant Chief Kane, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem Council, community. Thank you for allowing me to be here. I'm here to deliver the stats for the LA County Fire Department. In the month of September, we had 30 fire calls that we responded to in one capacity or another. 613 rescue and emergency calls. Those are 911 calls from the community. Hazardous materials calls, we had 5. Service calls, 5. Good intent calls, which vary from anywhere from false alarms, something non-related to medical. We had 153. And special incidents, we had 4. We did have one structural fire in a community. 4-plex, we were able to confine it to 1 unit without allowing extension into the additional 3. We did provide for service through the Red Cross, as well as we provided the residents with what we call a SAVE card, which is it's a denomination on a card that we offer for hotel or for food or beverage. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming out. Are there any questions from my colleagues? Hearing none, thank you so very much for that report.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to have a presentation to Apple the app. Shortly after we do this presentation, I'm going to take a 15-minute break just for a photo op, and then we're going to come right back in, but right shortly after the presentation. Just to be a 15-minute break, everyone, okay? Where is it? We're going down to the podium, my colleagues. Apple Diab. Come on up here. Come on up. Stand next to me. Today, I'm honored to present Apple Diab, member of the Grammy Award-winning group, the Black Eyed Peas, philanthropist for his outside contributions to Apple Diab Foundation, a key to the city. We don't give these up too often, but he's here in our city, and whenever we call, he comes, he performs. He was there at the Filipino Independence Day celebration on June 6th, I believe, filled the park up, and I just want, and you always come when someone calls you, and I just want to say thank you because he comes almost free of charge. That's the best part, isn't it? It is with pride that I present the key from our city to Apple Diab and the Apple Diab Foundation. Apple Diab's journey, marked by innovation and philanthropy, renovates deeply with the spirit of our city. Today, Carson is just presenting a key, but opening the doors to endless possibilities, celebrating greatness and cultural unity. So we want to present this key. And it reads, in recognition of your unwavering dedication and contributions to the city of Carson, and continue to serve as inspiration as you perform worldwide as the co-founder of the Black Eyed Peas, your efforts through the Apple Diab Foundation have created greater opportunities for the next generation, fostering a more inclusive, creative, and sustainable world. With heartfelt gratitude, we honor you for your enduring impact and dedication to our city, the city of Carson. Is presented by your mayor, Lula Davis Holmes, this first day of October on behalf of the entire city council, which consists of all these wonderful people that's standing next to you. Thank you so much. And we're going to read Cedric Hicks. We're going to have you start with the first part of the bio, and then our councilwoman is going to continue on.
Well, congratulations to Apple Diab. The City of Carson awards a symbolic key to the city to Alan Pineda Lindo, better known as Apple Diab, co-founder and member of the internationally known Grammy-winning hip-hop group, the Black Eyed Peas, as well as founders of the Apple Diab Foundation, international nonprofit organization, contribution to the City of Carson. Apple Diab was born with nystagmus and is legally blind and underwent surgery with artificial lenses, and despite his challenges, never gave up on his dreams. He continues to perform worldwide with the Black Eyed Peas, and while doing so, never forgets his roots in the Filipino barrio. Since its inception, the Apple Diab Foundation International has expanded internationally, providing resources and support to youth worldwide, nurturing youth creation and creativity, and building classrooms, computer labs, music recording studios from Los Angeles to Los Angeles City, Panama, in the Philippines. The partnership with the NCAF, we Can Be Anything champion, is geared to build classrooms for underserved children.
All right. The foundation's current projects focuses on providing the next generation of youth with greater opportunity and access to the latest in education, arts, and innovation in order to build a more inclusive, creative, and sustainable world. Back in 2012, Apple Diab was part of a talent search in the city of Carson in search of the best local talent in the city. He was also a judge, along with Bamboo, Leah Salonga, and Sarah Geronimo, for The Voice Philippines, where he coached a local Filipina named Janice Javier, and he brought Janice to Carson as well. So Apple mentored Janice and introduced her to the City of Carson stage 2022 Philippine American History Month. Oh, there's more. Wow. Okay. In 2023 and 2024, Apple again featured his talented proteges onto the Carson stage. In June of 2024, he donated his time and talents as a city's grand marshal and gave a free performance on the Carson stage at the Philippine Independence Day Festival, commanding one of the largest crowds in the history of Carson Philippine Independence Day festivals. In October 2024, once again, Apple, along with his foundation, are sharing his latest contribution to the city of Carson, again, coming up. For the first time, his car show of retrofitted electric vehicles for a greener, clean air transportation with the hopes for an environmental and sustainable future for the Philippines. So he's bringing that here to Carson. Thank you. Those retrofitted vehicles are a form of artistic expression by some of our local Phil-Am car enthusiasts. Learning the city of Carson has recently introduced electric vehicle charging stations. Thank you, MPT. Applediap chose the city of Carson to display his latest electric vehicle transport vehicles to our community in the city of Carson. And there's more. He's also searching for the best adobo chicken recipe. Yes, this is all at a live cook-off on October 12th at Philippine American History Month here in the city of Carson. So you're coming back. You're just going to have to hang out here in Carson. I think the mayor has an extra room, as you can say it. Okay, so Applediap is always searching for innovative ways to bring our Filipino community together in the city of Carson and beyond, and to lock arms in celebrating the rich history and talents of the Philippines to our community. Thank you so much. Maraming salamat, Apple.
Would you like to say something?
Magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Madam Mayor, for this recognition and the City of Carson Council members. And congratulations to your 9 initiatives and leading Carson in the right direction. Congratulations to that. And, you know, Carson is very close to my heart because the Black Eyed Peas, this is our, you know, our stomping ground. We used to dance at malls, at parking spots. So, you know, this is our beginning of our career. Well, Carson was a part of it. So thank you for that. And also, yeah, I'll be back on the 12th. I'll be back on the 12th again, and I'm going to be judging the best chicken adobo. So once again, yes, once again, maraming salamat. Thank you very much for this recognition.
Thank you, thank you. We're gonna, you got all your photos? One, okay. We're going to go out front for just 5 minutes. I said 15. It won't be but 5 minutes. And then we're going to come back in so we can take care of our city business. So we're going to take a recess for 5 minutes. Is that good? That's what I said. Let's go.
So then invite everyone.
Everyone, if you want to join us out in the lobby, you can, or you can stay seated. Your call. Your call. My council meeting after this nice photo shoot. I want to bring up Miss Billy Bates. Woo. As the honoree of the LA County Human Services Department Senior Citizen of the Year. Wow, girl. Give her a round of applause. We'd like to present Billy Bates, Senior Citizen of the Year from the Los Angeles County Human Services Department. I missed it. Billy exemplifies the spirit of this recognition through her meaningful relationships and tireless dedication to helping others in the city of Carson, especially me. It is with great joy that we recognize her achievements and the impact she makes in our community. Congratulations to Billy Bates. Job well done, well deserved. Thank you so much. And this is a certificate of recognition presented to Billy Bates in recognition of your selection as Senior of the Year honoree by the LA County Human Services Department. May you continue to enhance the community through your efforts. Best wishes on all your future endeavors. Is dated today, October 1st. Is signed by who?
My own mayor.
Lula Davis Home. Mayor Pro Tem Jawan Hilton, Councilmember Cedric Hicks, Councilmember Jim Deere, and our own Arlene Rojas. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then you have the one from the county also.
Yes.
Wow, Billy. Older Americans Month. Oh my, I'm gonna read it too. Powered by Connection, Aging and Disabilities Department. In recognition of your outstanding volunteer services rendered to the community by sharing your ability, mature knowledge, and vast experience, giving freely of your time and energy, the wealthy heritage of your services enriches the entire community, is signed by none other than our own supervisor, Holly Mitchell, your supervisor from District 2. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Would you like to say a few words?
I'd just like to thank you for this honor, and I am very proud and for thinking of me to nominate me for the Senior of the Year. Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, they were nominated, and she serves on our senior advisory. Is that
Commissioner.
Senior Advisory Commission? All the commissioners, are you here? Okay, I'm gonna take a photo, and then I'm gonna have you to come up and take a photo also with her. So let's do a single shot with you and your blue. You know, you must have called me and tell me. Come on over here. Hold your certificates. I'll shadow the city now. Here we go. Looking right here. Thank you. Thank you. Could I have our senior commissioners, all the commissioners come up and join her? Miss Shirley Graves, come on down. Get down, girl. Tiptoeing even. Yes. Come on. No, you don't just get in the back. You stand right there so you can be seen. Yes, Virgie Seymour. Hi, Virgie. Thank you. What do we have next, ladies?
Thank you. Thank you.
Who's presenting that? Thank you. MPT is the next certificate of recognition for Filipino American History Month. Who's receiving it?
We have Alex Kanglet that's coming
Hi, Alex.
for Filipino American History Month. Yes. Filipino American History Month. Here's your certificate, Alex. You could hold it. Filipino American History Month is a special celebration that honors history and culture of Filipino Americans who have made significant contributions to American society since they first arrived in the United States. Whereas the earliest documented proof of Filipinos presents the continental United States date back to 1587 when the first Lusa Indos set foot on Morro Bay, California. And whereas Filipino American History Month was first observed 32 years ago in October 1992, October was the perfect month to commemorate the special occasion for two reasons. The first Filipinos to arrive in America arrived in California on October 18, 1587. They reached Seaside City in San Luis Obispo County in Central Coast area. Secondly, October is the birth month of the farm worker Larry Itliong, an inspiring Filipino labor activist who fought to achieve improved workers' rights. And whereas during World War II, more than 260,000 Filipino and Filipino American soldiers answered the call to action and bravely served and sacrificed under the American flag. The Filipino veterans of World War II Congressional Medical Act unanimously passed through Congress was signed into law in December 2016. And whereas 52 years ago, the first Filipino-American study classes were taught at UCLA and UC Davis, in 1972, FAST was taught across multiple colleges and universities across the country. More recently, FAST curriculum has been established in K-12 public schools in California, Hawaii, and Seattle. And whereas October 1992 was the first time that Filipino-American history was celebrated in the United States. Since then, FAM has been celebrated annually all over the country. In 2009, U.S. Congress declared October as Filipino-American History Month, and in 2015, President Barack Obama celebrated the first Filipino-American History Month at the White House. In 2016, the Filipino-American National Historical Society Museum opened in Stockton, California. Whereas it's imperative for Filipino-American youth to have positive role models to instill them the importance of education, representation throughout various careers, and with the richness of their ethnicity and the value of their legacy. Whereas as we celebrate Filipino-American History Month, we're reminded of the richness of the Philippine culture and how it enhances the American experience that greatly contributes to our city, legacy, and diversity. Now, therefore, the mayor and the city council of the citizens of Carson, California, do hereby proclaim October 2024 as Filipino-American History Month. The city of Carson recognizes how Filipino Americans have initiated their collective grassroots efforts to ensure their voices are heard, their experiences are recognized, and their histories are told. Thus, we acknowledge these major historical markers in our communities, and we encourage residents, government officials, educators, and other institutions to recognize the many contributions that Filipino Americans have made and continue to make to enrich our city, state, and nation. Their immeasurable contribution to our nation reaffirms that as Americans, we will always be bound to each other in common purpose and by our shared hopes and future. Dated this day, October 1st, 2024.
That's a mouthful.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Proud to be Pinoy. Are you proud to be? I'm proud to be Pinoy, resident here for the last 40 years in the city of Carson, ran a business here as well, own a couple of properties here in the city of Carson. So I'm proud to call Carson my home. I want to thank the mayor, the Mayor Pro Tem, and the members of the City Council for recognizing the contribution of the Filipino American who resides in the city of Carson. We own a business, we work hard, we're homeowners, and we are proud to live in this city. On behalf of the 25,000 plus Filipinos who reside proudly in the city of Carson, I accept and I honor the city of Carson for honoring Filipino History Month for the month of October. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you. Don't do a quick, you're done. Go take your quick interview. Which one is next? Is this for me? Is this next? Okay. What, from where? Okay. Well, the next proclamation that we're going to give is for the month of October, and it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Come on down. Evelyn Clapp is a registered nurse, but before I read this, I want to say to all the residents, and I say it every year that I present this award, I think about right now I lost track. Margie used to keep track, but I'm a 37-year breast cancer survivor. I have lost track. And the reason I let everyone know my testimony is because I don't know who it's going to affect. Because sometimes you have to let people know what you're going through and what you've gone and how you've made it this far, because breast cancer is not a death sentence if you catch it in time. It is not a death sentence, and I like to share that story because when I was at UCLA, the one thing that I did, because when I was going through the treatment and everything, I went through everything, because I told them when I was going through mine, what you got in that drawer? Give me some of that too. My desire was to live, and it didn't mean if I had to no hair, it didn't mean that was okay because I was alive. So self-breast examinations is the key. My husband is here tonight. I think he found it. Oh, you know what you men be doing. He said something's wrong here. But it's not a death sentence. Self-examinations and have that positive attitude, you know. And I always said when they diagnosed me, I got on my knees and I said, thy will be done. And I kept living, and my son became a shopping cart. Went shopping for, it was a family thing. Everybody in my family helped me walk down this journey. I was a soldier in the Army that I didn't sign up for. I was inducted. And what I want to tell young people and men, breast cancer is becoming more prevalent at the younger age. At the younger age. Men, you have breast cancer also, okay? So you have to be aware of your bodies, and you have to let everyone know what you're going through. I was not a closed mouth. I let everyone that I came in contact with know that I had breast cancer. It came back in 2007. I said the same thing. What you got in that drawer? My goal is to be here, and here we are in 2024. 2024, and don't I look cute? So this award is presented.
This is the nurse.
Yes.
Torrance Memorial.
Evelyn?
And then we have Evelyn.
Evelyn, come on down. Today, we recognize October as Breast Cancer Awareness Month in Carson, and we have two wonderful recipients of this proclamation. Evelyn, a registered nurse who earned her Bachelor of Science degree in nursing from the University of San Francisco. After surviving breast cancer, she joined the Torrance Memorial Center in 2008 as preoperative registered nurse, where she developed breast cancer reconstruction after a mastectomy. Teaching, planned, and founded Evelyn's Corner, providing resources for women undergoing breast surgery. In 2015, she became the oncology nurse navigator, specializing in breast cancer, and launched the pre-op mastectomy and breast reconstruction class and support group. As a founder and president, Evelyn's Breast Friends Forever, a nonprofit that supports uninsured and underinsured women with breast cancer. She is recognized as a community hero. Yes, you are. Receiving awards such as the KNX 1070 News Radio Health for Honda Heroes Award, and being handpicked by Oprah Winfrey as a guest for her ultimate favorite things. I want to say thank you to Evelyn for all that you have done to fight this battle that we call it. And it's a certificate of proclamation recognizing October as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The City of Carson recognizes the significant impacts breast cancer has on individuals and families in our community. Whereas Breast Cancer Awareness Month is an opportunity to reaffirm our commitment to supporting breast cancer research and education. Whereas early detection and treatment are key to improving survival rates for those affected by breast cancer. Say early detection. And whereas the City of Carson dedicated to supporting those battling this disease, honoring survivors, and remembering those we have lost. And whereas through community efforts and educational programs and health services, we can increase awareness and provide support in need. Now, therefore, the City Council for the City of Carson, California, hereby declare its commitment in support of LA versus Hate. What is this? Yes. Okay, so I just want to say thank you for coming out. receiving this. And to all the ladies that's here tonight, I think it's on the 18th. I'm gonna get her. I just want to make this public spot announcement real quick. Is it the 18th, Maisha? 18th, we're having It's All About Me Women's Health Conference at the Community Center. If you have not signed up, you should sign up. There's over 20 doctors that's going to be coming out talking about health issues for women. They're all medical doctors. They're not wannabe doctors. They're giving up their time and their talent to come out and address some of your concerns. And some of those doctors will be talking about breast cancer, and some of those doctors will be talking about how to look beautiful at my age. So I want to say thank you, Evelyn, and would you like to say a few words?
Yes, please. Okay, I just want to say thank you, Madam Mayor, and all the council members of Carson. And I'm truly honored and humbled to be receiving this recognition award. I would like to take the opportunity to express my gratitude to you, Madam Mayor, and also Torrance Memorial Medical Center. And I came at the right night because I'm also Filipino. Filipino power! Yay! Yay! And so I just want to thank my family for being here, my husband and my daughter, and also Torrance Memorial, my manager, Claire, for coming. And Evelyn's BFF is a foundation that I created in 2012, and we actually sponsor women who are uninsured and underinsured for breast cancer reconstruction. We do a bra run called Breast Reconstruction Awareness every year in August. Torrance Memorial is our premium sponsor, and whatever money we raise, we give it back to the community in South Bay area. So I just want to say thank you again. And we also do a lot of, I also do a lot of promoting the breast cancer, not only in the month of October, but throughout the year. So I just want to say, please get your mammogram and get your breast check, because early detection is the key. I'm also a breast nurse navigator, so. So thank you so much for having me. Oh. Take a picture.
Do you have two certificates? I think so. No, here it is. Yeah. They both say the same thing, so I'm not going to read them all. But our next recipient is Antoinette Greer. Come on down, Antoinette. Antoinette, a breast cancer survivor also, and co-founder and CEO of My Sister, My Friend Breast Cancer Support. Her organization is committed to increasing local and national attention to the devastating impact breast cancer has on the African American community. She's a dedicated volunteer and patient advocate, having served as a spokesperson for the American Cancer Society, where she received the Patient Encourage Award. She focuses on services such as screening, educational outreach, timely treatment, and financial support for the vulnerable population. As a peer counsel in the Spirit Project and MD Anderson Cancer Center, she has led various outreach initiatives to meet the needs of survivors and their caregivers, supporting early detection effort. She has been recognized with several honors, including Phenomenal Woman Award from the NAACP Long Beach affiliate and the John Lee Award for Community Services. Let's give Ms. Greer a round of applause.
First of all, I want to say thank you. I got ushered off there. I was trying to get out here and get that first spot on early detection. Early detection is the key. I thank the nurse navigators. We need these services in our community, so we spearheaded that. We help people regardless to where they're treated in terms of support and financial resources. So we will have an event, a major event this month, October the 26th at the Reef on the Water. We'll also have a doctor's panel. This event is free to the first 50 women that sign up to come. So we are in a space where we want to share that information with you as well. We have a breast reconstruction surgeon as well as all the other breast health disciplines, a radiologist and oncologist and so forth. So you're all invited and welcome to learn from us. Thank you again, the council, the city council, the mayor pro tem for this wonderful recognition of our work in the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next award is Councilman Hicks.
The recipient for this one is our Councilwoman Arlene Bogatia Rojas. In recognition of October 25th as Larry Itliong Day in Carson, whereas Larry Itliong arrived in the United States in 1929 at the age of 15 to work as a migrant laborer in the fisheries and canneries of Alaska. He was responsible for organizing immigrant farm workers and cannery workers for over 30 years. And whereas Larry Itliong helped establish the Alaskan Cannery Workers Union in 1930 and fought for a contract that gave workers an 8-hour workday with overtimes. In 1953, he helped orchestrate the asparagus strike in Stockton, California. Through this work, Itliong emerged as the leader of the Filipino-American community, respected leader workers who were instrumental in shaping the farm labor movement. Whereas Larry Itliong served on the United States Army for 7 years and 27 days and was honorably discharged as a private in Company K, 2nd Filipino Infantry. After serving in the Army in World War II, Itliong settled in Stockton, California and continued to work in the labor movement. Whereas in 1956, Larry Itliong led the Filipino Farm Labor Union, where he received the support from the American Federation of Labor Congress of Industrial Organization, AFL-CIO, and consequently led Filipino grape workers strike in Coachella Valley that resulted in the higher pay and later led a walkout of 1,500 Filipino grape workers and began the Great Delano Grape Strike to protest low wages and miserable working conditions. Whereas in 1970, Larry Itliong founded and became the president of Filipino-American Political Association, the first national political Filipino-American organization and crucial alliance between Filipino professionals with 30 active chapters throughout the United States. And whereas Carson has celebrated Itliong over the years in October for over a decade, and in 2018, Larry Itliong Day was dedicated and declared as a house holiday here in the city of Carson. This year, on October 25th, 2024, on the 111th anniversary of his birth, we recognize the great contribution of Larry Itliong, whose hand-fought battles helped advance the farm workers' rights and social justice. Now, therefore, the mayor and the city council of the city of Carson do hereby recognize the outstanding contribution of Larry Itliong, and whereby recognizing October 25th as Larry Itliong Day in the city of Carson in honor of his life, work to promote and fight for the well-being of California farm workers, and whose legacy continue to inspire the next generation of leaders across the state and the nation. Dated today, the first day of October 24, signed by the entire city council.
Thank you, madam. We're just gonna take a photo. Larry Itliong Jr. couldn't be here.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. I am a 35-year union member. However, we do have the real recipient, which is Johnny Itliong, the son of the late Larry Itliong. And he could not make it. He's from Northern California, but he will be here. He will be our keynote speaker for Larry Itliong on October 25th here at Carson Community Center. And along with Johnny Itliong will be Larry Itliong, the musical, the cast of Larry Itliong. So they will be here. But thank you, and we're looking forward. So yes, let's take a photo.
I always have to put this disclaimer out because everybody say this is Filipino Heritage Month. Every nationality in the city of Carson is celebrated beginning January 1st through Halloween. So don't feel that you start off with the King tribute. We just celebrate. We like to celebrate the diversity that's here in the city of Carson. So while you're sitting there saying, hey, what's going on? It's just that there's a Filipino History Month this month, and we're just recognizing our Filipino community, okay? But you, Latinos, African Americans, we just had a Country and Western Fair. We celebrate the diversity of this great city. Make no bones about it. The next one is, yes, Richard Biss. Come on down.
Yes, yes.
ADAP.
And with him, we have his daughter, Raylan Biss. Please come on down. She is the AMA, HOSA president. So AMA HOSA president at Carson High School? Yes, all right. Okay, so here you go, and I will read. So we have Richard Biss and Raylan Biss, and I will read the proclamation. Okay, it says, whereas the Red Ribbon Week campaign is the oldest and largest drug prevention program in the U.S., and whereas the red ribbon was chosen as the awareness symbol commemorating the work of Enrique Kiki Camarena, a Drug Enforcement Administration agent who was murdered in the line of duty. Whereas the numerous problems associated with the access, the use, abuse, and addiction to alcohol, tobacco, prescription drugs, cannabis, and other drugs have negatively affected individuals, families, and communities. Whereas substance abuse is harmful to youth brain development, can increase risky behaviors, mental health issues, and contribute to the development of adult health problems such as heart disease. And whereas the Carson Initiative of Substance Abuse Awareness and Prevention Coalition recognizes the harms related to substance abuse and mental disorders. The Carson Initiative Substance Abuse and Prevention Coalition encourages a safe space, services, activities, and efforts for Carson youth. The Carson Initiative of Substance Abuse, SAAP, I wish I could say that a lot quicker, sees the need to provide the fund for substance abuse intervention and treatment resources service to help the Carson community. Whereas the city of Carson is proud of the community members and the staff who participated in the drug-free events and contests in honor of Enrique Camarena at schools, parks, churches, businesses, and communities across the city of Carson for the past 18 years. The city of Carson supports youth, family, and community prevention efforts dealing with mental health, wellness, underage drinking, vaping, impaired driving, prescription drug use, and bullying prevention through education. Whereas the Center of Disease Control, the CDC, and the Food, Drug, and Administration issued information of recent outbreaks of lung disease, illnesses, and death associated with e-cigarette and vaping use. Whereas it is imperative that the community members launch visible substance abuse prevention education activities during the National Red Ribbon Week campaign. Whereas prevention efforts focusing on education, mentorship, entertainment, and after-school activities is proven to help decrease youth substance use and addiction by promoting a drug-free and underage drinking-free environment. Whereas in the City Council passed resolution number 07-133 on October 16, 2007, designating 1 week during the month of October as Red Ribbon Week in the city of Carson. The City of Carson encourages all community members to help build drug-free communities and participate in the drug prevention activities during Red Ribbon Week. Whereas the City of Carson, the Carson Initiative of Substance Abuse Awareness and Prevention, CSAP, Coalition, the Carson Lions Club, the Boys and Girls Club of Carson, Carson High School Volunteer Chapter Youth Coalition, the Filipino American Chamber of Commerce South Los Angeles, Carson Sheriff Station, the Carson Public Safety Services, Carson Parks and Recreation, and other organizations and concerned community volunteers collaborated a plan and coordinate a week-long celebration to raise awareness dealing with the prevention of underage drinking, drunk impaired driving, substance use, and drug addiction. Very important week, but let's do it every day of our lives, okay? So now, therefore, the mayor and the city council and citizens of Carson, California do hereby recognize October 23rd to the 31st of 2024 as the 18th annual Red Ribbon Week, and it's themed Life is a Movie, Film Drug-Free, and encourage all its citizens, businesses, and schools, churches, and other agencies to demonstrate their commitment to a drug-free and underage drinking-free community by wearing red ribbons and participating in drug-free activities. So this year, Richard Biss, thank you and your families here and all the supporters of Red Ribbon Week. We will continue this drug awareness, and thank you. Thank you so much.
Let's do a quick photo op.
Okay.
Who's next?
Okay.
We have Raylene say something, please.
So as the president of AMA HOSA, I just want to say thank you for this proclamation. We, as a school community, try to help out all throughout the city during this week. So when you come to these events and you see students helping out, they're from HOSA, they care about the community, especially to the health of our youth and adults. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, then I want to say something. You know, Star, it's been 21 years of public health and safety prevention work against substance use and abuse in the city of Carson. And I just want to say and be humble and say thank you to our leaders, our decision makers. Right, our city is definitely a lot better because of Red Ribbon Week. But most important is not just the people up here, but all of you. You all have participated probably in Red Ribbon Week for all those years. So thank you. I humbly say thank you. It truly takes a village to raise a child.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we're going to recognize proclamation recognizing October as National Code Enforcement Appreciation Month. Nora. This dedicated group plays a vital role in ensuring our community maintains high standards of safety, cleanliness, and overall quality of life. Congratulations to the entire team. Come on down, including Supervisors Janet Tuapo O'Brien, Officers Anthony Rocco, Lise Enriquez, David Spears, Rick Major, Shaquina Weston, DJ Rivers, Selena, and Asia Watson, for your unwavering commitment to the code enforcement mission. Your hard work and dedication is very much appreciated by this entire city council. And I'm not reading this Shin, I want you to say a few words.
Well, first off, thank you, Madam Mayor, Mayor Pro, members of the City Council. It means a lot to me to be able to recognize this work group. They are truly some of the unsung heroes of the city. They do help keep us safe, compliant, and clean. We are working on some things, and we are only going to get better with the technology and the new tools that we have. So thank you very much.
Photo op, photo op. Thank you, thank you. Our Mayor Pro Tem has the next, is this the last one?
Now, the moment you all been waiting for, the last proclamation of the night.
Yeah.
This is for the bullying prevention tonight. Please come. This is, today we recognize October as Bullying Prevention Month in Carson, and would like to present the Human Relations Commission with this proclamation. With us tonight is our Vice Chairperson, Janice Ramos, and our Chaplain Commissioner, Dr. Chinere Ifacho. This Human Relations Commission is dedicated to developing programs that promote education, tolerance, and diversity, ensuring that all individuals have equal access to opportunities and justice. Let us stand together in our commitment to eliminate prejudice and discrimination as we honor Bullying Prevention Month and work towards a more inclusive community. Whereas bullying behaviors are recognized as dangerous and harmful acts that victimize the targeted child and bystanders, bullying is a pattern of deliberate, negative, harmful, aggressive acts that work to shift the balance of physical, emotional, and social powers. Now, therefore, the Mayor and the City Council of California hereby proclaim the month of October 2024 as Bullying Prevention Month and encourage all citizens to engage in a variety of awareness and prevention activities to make our community safer for all children and adolescents. I don't think I need to go through this. You know what bullying is. You know if your kids are bullying, you know what to look for with the bullies, and make sure that you're not participating in bullying. Here's our Human Relation Commissioners.
Thank you. On behalf of the Human Relations Commission, thank you, Madam Mayor and the council members. Thank you for supporting our events every year. Our next event will be in February 2025, where we have our Rising Star essay contest, where the kids from Carson, they write an essay and we pick the winners. So thank you.
She used to be one of our youth commissioners, and she's grown up to be a full 14 years old. She was a youth commissioner, so she's giving back to her community. Oscar Ramos is her father. Thank you. Thank you. And that concludes our presentations. Tell him I called him.
Okay.
You have any more? We're gonna have our city manager do a presentation real quick. Our quarterly update. You don't have a clicker? Oh, everybody's leaving. You should be staying for our quarterly update. Have a seat. You got to be at the counter. This is not going to take long. They're done. Next time I have them wait.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council, for the opportunity to provide the City of Carson quarterly update. Typically, this update is provided within our Carson report. But on behalf of the mayor, I'd like to actually start presenting this verbally through presentation. We see this on a monthly update through our office by way of my assistant to the city manager, Mr. Michael George, who collaborates and collects all the information. But I wanted to provide this update. But before I go through the presentation, Madam Mayor, I do want to say specifically that and clear up any misconceptions, misnomers about the update and the information that gets provided. There's been questions or there's been comments to state that these projects that have happened is because I, the city manager, has taken credit for that, which I want to profusely state that I don't take credit for these projects that happen. These projects that have come before the city council, mayor, and the council for approval is through the initiatives that our mayor has, through her vision, has provided. There is a old proverb that says, where there is no vision, the people cast off restraints. And so I just wanted to reiterate that in order for any vision to take place, it has to be have a people that's mission-minded. So I want to thank you, Madam Mayor, publicly for providing these initiatives, goals, and objectives for us to move forward. They're not my goals, they're not my objectives, contrary to maybe popular belief. And then when these projects are completed, I myself don't complete them as a city manager. They're actually completed by the wonderful staff that I have the opportunity to work with. I'm humbly grateful to be able to work with the number of colleagues that I have for putting in the effort, the time, their passion into seeing the initiatives of the mayor and the collaboration of the council to move forward. So thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. City Manager.
And with that, I'll move forward here with again, the City of Carson quarterly update for today. These are the 9 initiatives that many of us have seen previously through the mayor's State of the City, but as well as through several other outlets, whether it be the Carson Report, whether it been other aspects of town hall meetings. Through our projects, this comes up on a number of occasions. So these are the 9 initiatives that have been accomplished, and from these initiatives has been birthed several other projects from these 9 core categories. And so from that, you see in specific, All City Repair Street Project. This is one of the main projects that was birthed from those initiatives. This is something that the mayor and council have been really speaking on and championing to see completed for quite some time. We just happen to have at least myself, a cadre of staff that have been hearkening to that clarion call to ensure that these city street repair projects get completed. It's the first time in the city's history. So I just want to publicly thank Dr. Rogers, our Public Works Director, as well as his staff for a remarkable job in collaboration with several other staff members from Parks and Recreation, Community Services, our director, Mr. Michael Whitaker, as well as his staff. And so, not to mention Director of Safety, Nora Garcia, so when there's been issues where we'd have to have public safety, just to be able to ensure our staff is safe while they're actually doing these jobs, has been a tremendous help and aid. And so I just wanted to thank them publicly. But again, this has been on the idea and goals and initiatives that our mayor and council have put out. So thank you again. And from this, I just wanted to go through, since the beginning of this calendar year, from a city standpoint, July 1st, 2024, these are just some of the major projects that have been completed. Now, I know we don't have time to go through them all, Madam Mayor, but this is just a high overview of the major projects, from our Tesla charging stations, which was implemented by our energy and sustainability officer, Rita Kolscher. So she did an amazing job there, along with several of the directors pitching in and collaborating. Again, this is something that you, Madam Mayor, and the council wanted to see come to fruition. This happened and was completed within this time frame in this quarter. City Hall Council Chambers audio video improvement. As you can see, those that are watching online, those that have been here in attendance, ourselves as well, you see how well the sound has been projected, as well as the viewership has been amazing from an HD quality. So I want to thank our IT director, Gary Carter, for basically implementing that, him and his team and his staff. And so again, that was another initiative that you wanted to see done, Madam Mayor. So again, thank you for that. The Urban Forest Master Plan Grant, it was $1 million. One of the things that we went after by way and direction of the mayor to myself was we wanted to see more grants and for our staff to apply for more grants, and they've done so. So as you see, the Urban Forest Master Plan Grant, $1 million, Local Roadway Safety Plan Grant, $1 million we received. This was amazing. A Department of Energy grant that our Energy and Sustainability Officer, Rita Kolscher, again, was able to apply for, and we received $4.2 million grant, so she's actually over that. Amazing. Yes, definitely hand clap for that one. So appreciative of her work there. We got the Climate Action Plan from SoCal Gas. It was $50,000. So again, this was a collaboration through several of our departments. The citywide fire alarm repairs and enhancements done by our Director of Public Safety, Nora Garcia, and her team, along with the additional 2 public safety engagement officers, adding to a total of 4 to help with the unhoused in our city. Then we have the upgraded radio systems project, which we had some outdated, inundated radios that was actually revamped, upgraded to today's technology, and now is in full effect so that our staff can now communicate through radio technology. So that is amazing. So again, that's another project that our Director of Public Safety has been able to render. And then finally, within this period, the classification and compensation study hasn't been done for over 30 years. To see our Director of Human Resources, Josh Boudreau, come in fresh off the streets within 6 months to be able to do a study of this magnitude when it had been assigned about 2 years ago. Again, just speaks to the volume and the credit. And again, I just am humbly thankful that I have the ability and the opportunity to work with such a remarkable staff and to see these projects just in this short period of time to be completed. Again, there's an exhaustive list that I could go through. I'm not going to do that for the brevity of time, but I just wanted to thank everyone, staff included, that have put their work and sweat equity into these projects to see them come to fruition. So again, Madam Mayor, thank you. Council, thank you for your collaboration. Thank you for your direction. And I just, like I said, wanted to highlight those. Going further, one of the things that has been mentioned is I did talk to and publicly thanked Dr. Rogers for his work, but I want you all to see really when this project, All Repairs City project for the streets was to be completed and the assignment was given, this was the first street schedule. Every district had some type of effect or was affected by the schedule that was listed. So every district saw this go forward, seen this completion. This was the first phase, if you will. The second phase for all 4 districts went into effect. Again, this project started in late March of this year, and we've already completed 2 phases. So that's a number of streets, as you can see from phase 2, that have been either mill and overlaid or even slurry sealed, depending on the street's condition. Again, why this is entitled All City Repair Street Project for the city. Then, lo and behold, as they continue to move forward, 3rd phase, again, 4 districts affected. This was all completed, and I think this was late June or July. Then we had now here phase 4 just completed here this month or the end of September. And so we've already completed 4 phases where each district has had has been affected with at 4 times this year in the last 6 months. We've already gone through 4 phases, which is a remarkable feat for our staff. It speaks volumes to the work and to the dedication of our staff for what they've done. So I'm just so humbled and proud for what they've done. In saying that, phase 5 will soon begin. There will be notifications going out through our PIO as well as our Carson report, notifying residents what streets will be affected within each district for phase number 5. And then, of course, I will come back sometime in February of 2025 to give you your next quarterly City of Carson update. That basically, again, I am just the messenger and the mouthpiece of the council, primarily from the mayor's initiatives and ensuring that these projects get implemented. So thank you for your time, Madam Mayor and Council.
Thank you. Quick question, Mr. City Manager. Could we send out a letter to the streets where we had completed, I don't know if, I thought you did it for the first 2 phases, asking them their phases complete, did they have any concerns, or were they satisfied with the work? Because I've sent our Public Works Director a couple of photos where the residents and I was not satisfied, but I think we need to go back and revisit to see how they feel. I was just out this past weekend. I was kind of a little bit embarrassed. Met a guy that worked in Redondo Beach, and he had some concerns. So I will send Dr. Rogers his information. But overall, everyone is excited. You do get a few, where they kind of rush through and it gets kind of busy. But overall, I think our residents have been satisfied with the fact that we were able to do streets that have not been touched for over 20 plus years. So I'm really excited about the fact that this council appropriated the $36 million to get this done. And I want to thank, again, Mayor Pro Tem Hilton and Councilman Hicks was on the city council when we passed several of these initiatives, so we could come up with this $229 million surplus that some people say is not real, but if it's in our bank, it's real. So I just want to thank the 3 of them. Councilman Deere was not on the council at the time, and Councilman Rojas had not been elected. So the 3 of us with our former mayor were able to get some of these measures passed, and I'm excited about that. So that was my request, and I want to thank you, Mr. City Manager, for the presentation. And I know there's been the capital improvement projects. We'll get to that later, but I know there's been a lot of questions about where we were, and I told the residents it's a capital improvement project that we put on our agenda I think it's the 1st of the month.
Yes, the 1st of the month, and there's actually 2 that are actually on your agenda right now, Madam Mayor, which would be for discussion.
Okay,
tonight.
Thank you. Do my colleagues have any comments or questions or statements?
Yes, Madam Mayor.
Yes,
MPT.
Councilman. Well, I'm not. My queue is not up. What's going on? MPT. My queue is not up. I can't see.
It's not on the screen, no.
It's not on our screens.
So should we go ahead? MPT going to go first? Or me?
MPT, go
Okay,
on.
thank you.
Councilman.
Yeah, I agree with the mayor on some of the complaints that came in. It is right. Sometimes after a street is completed, it's very smooth. And other times it's really rough. And if you can imagine you're painting something and you have thick paint and you have overpaint, so you have bumps and waves in these brand new finished streets. Some of them, and overall, it's a good job that's being done, but there's quite a number of streets that looks like they didn't put enough what I would call quality assurance into it. The end result is not an attractive street if you're standing there within a few feet looking at it. And so, question to the city manager, do you have your inspectors going out at the completion of the street to approve it, or you just, tell us publicly how that works?
Sure, and I'll just give the opportunity for Director Rogers to speak to that, so that way I don't misspeak regarding how the process is handled.
From what I'm hearing, it sounds like there's a little discrepancy in the coating that's happening on the street. You're going to have a difference between a mill and overlay, which is you're laying a brand new fresh coat of asphalt on top of a street. So that street's going to be smoother because there's a roller out there and it's new asphalt, versus slurry seal, which, as you said, it's a coating. So it's not going to be as even and as, aesthetically pleasing as we would like it to be, but it is a drivable surface. It is appropriate, and it is a way for the city to get more bang for its buck, because that particular street using that particular coating is the proper maintenance technique for that street to last longer.
Well, we are talking about how we're redoing all those streets, and people in Carson want to feel that their street is treated equally, so to speak. And so the slurry material seems to be too much in some spots and too little in others. Can't they take a little more time and smooth it out, because it is in a liquid form when they apply it? And if you want, I'll take pictures of it and show it to you. But I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that'd be great. If you could shoot me the pictures in either the street or the approximate address, then we could have our team go out and take a look at that and see what's going on.
Is there a retrofit approach to it? Can you fix it?
I'm sure there's a way we can please everybody.
Well, the street should look good. We're spending over $30 million. The end result should be a really nice looking street.
Right, and just
sometimes it doesn't look good. It's ugly.
To that point, I think, and again, I'm not the subject matter expert. I'll allow Dr. Rogers to kind of fill in the blanks. But for just in layman's terms, a lot of times, if the street condition is actually not worn down, not torn down to where there would have to be a mill and overlay, if there's going to be, just say, for instance, a slurry seal where you get kind of the snake-like lines in some of the streets, and that's sometimes some of the residents may complain because they say it's not as attractive because you just see these lines going back and forth in the street, but it's still smooth, and what it's doing is filling cracks. The road overall, or the street overall, is still in great condition, so it doesn't have to be dug up completely, whereas some streets do. So that's where you see maybe the entirety of the street that's blackened with the black tar to get the street repaired. That is a process to where when mill and overlay comes into play, it's basically digging up the street versus just the repair. And so you have those different sites where one street could be completely a mill and overlay where it's all blackened, where another street may just be slurry sealed. So you've got the gray street, if you will, with the S-like stripes within it because of the slurry seal filling up the cracks. So it may aesthetically may not look as appealing, but nonetheless, the street itself has been repaired and now it's ready for a conditioned life of another 5 to 10 years versus the life of something that needs to be mill and overlaid where it may not. And feel free, Dr. Rogers, to jump in too.
And in doing so, it's a savings to the city because mill and overlay all the streets in the cities would be astronomical in cost. So what we've effectively done is taken a PCI rating, and right now we're working at a 40% and bringing the 40% street up to 100. And anything above that, we're using the measurements so that we can use different styles and different types of maintenance in order to maintain the street so they'll last longer. So putting slurry on a street, though may not be as aesthetically pleasing for everyone, it is a perfect driving surface, and it saves the city money because we're extending the useful life of that particular street because it's not as in bad a shape as other streets in the city.
Well, to answer that, we work for the people who live in Carson. And if it's in front of your house and the street looks bad after the project's complete, you can't blame them for having a complaint and a service request. So you're gonna get these. And I'm not talking about seeing the snake lines. What I'm talking about is a over amount of material. It's like they didn't smooth it out. It's like a wave or a bump in some areas. Like they did it really fast and they didn't care. And I'm sure that's not the case because we paid them a lot of money. So I think we need to address those issues and come back because it's just like if you talk about the crime rate of a city and you talk about statistics, you say, oh, well, statistically it's down. But if you're a victim of crime, the crime rate is 100%. So it's all your perspective. So the five of us represent the residents of the city, and the residents of the city have to know that, okay, the street's certainly drivable, and I don't think they'll disagree with that, but you know, it has to do with something they look at every day. So I would suggest that we go back and maybe there must be a way to fix the slurry seals that really look bad. And I'll bring it to your attention.
Sure, absolutely.
Offline.
Well, no, and that's
Yeah.
staff can take care of that.
All
for
right.
sure.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm complete.
Thank you. They're like clunks of slurry that's left in pot
Yeah,
spots.
that's what I see too.
They're clunks. And then when you
clumps
go
of it.
close to the curb, it's like, oh, there wasn't enough product. So they just went down the main part of the street, and I did send him some address. You have any questions, MPT?
We're observing the same thing. Yeah.
Councilman Hicks.
Thank you, Madam. I just had one observation that I've been receiving from our residents. Can we make sure that all the streets are the same color? They were saying that the black doesn't match. I guess if you go so far up on the street and you stop, and it takes a while before you come back to that street again, by the time you do the other half of that street, it doesn't match up. So they're saying that if you do a street, don't stop in the middle of the block. Can we take the entire block and finish it from end to end versus half of the block?
Councilman, I think the street's undone. Part of it's done and the rest is not finished. That's why it looks gray and old and as opposed to black and a beautiful.
No, that's not,
smooth
my
surface.
question is when they do the street, just complete the entire block versus stopping it midway within the block. A lot of times, then that has happened. The reason why I know that has happened on my street, it stops in the middle of the block. It doesn't go all the way through. There's some on Acaris. There's some on some other streets that's in District 3 that they don't go all the way through to the end. And it's part of I know I've talked to Dr. Rogers about it. He said it's different phases, but just if we can look at in putting those phases in, it just looks better when
Absolutely.
you go down the entire and just finish the street.
If we can get the addresses for all the concerns, I mean, at any time, we'll just send staff out and the inspectors to go take a look and make sure it gets taken care of. Absolutely.
Did we hire I've asked for this before, what do you call a contract monitor to go out on these projects? Don't we have someone hired on board? No, when the street's done, they go out and sign off on, because I know you, Dr. Rogers, can't do it.
Yes,
A
Madam
project engineer, project consultant, or whatever.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
What
cut
was
you
it
off.
called?
Project manager and
Project
construction
manager.
inspector. Yes, we have those on board. So if we, as the city manager said, if we get the addresses or proximity of where those are, we'll send the team back out and take a look at them and get them corrected.
Well, my question is, why isn't he going out before he signs off?
That's something we'll have to take a look at when we get the addresses
Okay.
so we can see what's going on.
Yeah,
So
because I'm under
that's-
the impression that once the street is signed out, our construction engineer has been out there and said, okay, we can sign off on it. Okay. Councilwoman?
Oh, I just want to congratulate public, all the workers, all the staff. And I think isn't this the first time we are doing all the districts all at one time? So that in itself is a challenge, and I want to congratulate city manager and staff for putting all that together and getting it done. And we're going to continue to get it done. So
Absolutely.
that's it. Thank you.
Okay, that ends the presentation. Oral communications for matters listed on the agenda, hearing none. Were there any, Madam City Manager? I mean, City Clerk.
Maybe I should be a city manager. I gave the comment cards to you. There was one for item 28. I don't, you have
28, item 28 is Aria. Are you here, Aria?
No, yes.
Come on down, Aria. This item 28.
Yes.
That's a discussion item. You want to say something about it now? You want to wait until we come to 28? Oh, you can wait? Okay, we have oral communication for non-agendized item. Only have one speaker. Mr. Holmes, is you. That's my real husband.
My lovely wife, council members. I'm here tonight, excuse me, as an angry husband, angry residents of the city. As you know, this is election year for mayor, and two opponents are running, my wife and Jim Deere. And they spent a lot of money to do this. Signs are put up that cost money. Well, unfortunately, my wife has lost over 35 4x8 signs, all because of her opponent, that nut right there, Jim Deere. Oh, I'm sorry. I have a tape here I want to play of this person going around threatening people that put up, that support my wife. And I think it's very bad that we have to go through this, but I'm going to play it as soon as I find it. Just a moment. Here.
Keisha, can you help your dad?
Why it's not playing? Why is this not playing? But anyway, as my daughter tried to find this, I have spoken to several business people who has, here you go. Listen to this. I can't hear it. Right here. It's not working.
Your clock is ticking, so say what
Okay, I may have to have a couple of more minutes.
You can't.
But anyway, it doesn't play loud enough, but it's got evidence of this man threatening a business person about signs. And he has his thuggish crew to take down the mayor, the mayor opponent. And I think it's a stop, because if he has if anyone who's running for a position has the audacity or I'd say the fortitude to run because they think they're eligible, they should do it without going through these methods of removing and tearing down signs. And I know he's going to deny it, but his name comes up every time I speak to opponent. And he reminds me of a person, this person reminds me of someone with a medical problem. It's called narcissistic sociopath. That's a person who derives satisfaction from bullying, threatening anyone that they can scare to achieve what they're trying to do.
You have 9 seconds.
How many seconds?
You're over and out.
Could I get 3 more minutes?
We don't do that. They can speak on their own. He cannot.
I can't speak for him?
They can come up and
Well,
speak.
anyway, it needs to stop. That's all I'm saying, Mr. Deere. It needs to
Thank you.
stop.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
And we're going to catch those people that's doing it, by the way, because you are nuts.
Anyone else before I close oral communications section? Hi, son. Okay, approval of the minutes.
Move
Motion to
approval, Madam
approve.
Mayor.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second.
We don't have a voting screen.
Oh, yours just popped up.
Can I get the second again, Madam Mayor?
Who's, Hicks?
Oh.
Yes, it was me.
Okay, I apologize. I'm still working on the system, Madam Mayor. It's been moved and properly second.
Please.
Councilmember Deere and Councilmember Hicks.
If we do a voice vote to save time.
Can we cast our votes, please? Is the machine working? Okay.
Yes, that's,
There's no button on
Yeah,
mine.
there's no voting screen, Madam Mayor.
Oh, okay.
Okay, aye.
Madam Clerk, call roll, please. Roll call.
Councilmember Rojas.
Present.
No.
Aye.
Yes, aye.
Or no. Councilmember Deere.
Yes.
Councilmember Hicks.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Hilton.
Yes.
Mayor Davis Holmes.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Consent items.
I don't-
Consent items 17 through 27.
Move approval of the consent calendar, Madam Mayor.
Does anyone want to pull? It's been moved and properly second. Do you have that, Madam Clerk?
One moment. It's a few buttons over here. I appreciate the zeal. Just a minute.
Madam Mayor, I have a question for the staff while she's doing that. How come it doesn't show up on our screen, on our monitor in front of us? You're working on that?
It's a show. We're looking at.
I see. Okay, that's fine. Maybe the next council meeting.
It worked fine, the first one.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Madam Mayor,
Who would like to pull an item?
item number 23 and number 27.
23 and 27 has been, anyone else? Hearing none, I'd like to move for approval of all the items except 23,
Second.
27. Roll call, Madam City Clerk.
Councilmember Rojas.
Yes.
Councilmember Deere.
Yes.
Councilmember Hicks.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Hilton.
Yes.
Mayor Davis Holmes.
Yes.
The vote is unanimous. Madam Mayor, motion carries.
Item 23, Councilman Hicks.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Would like to staff report.
Thank you, Councilmember Hicks. This particular item for the resolution and execution of a program supplement agreement is going to give a brief update and presentation by our Public Works Department. I believe Mr. Gilbert Marquez will provide that. And then in the meantime, while he's making his way up to the podium, I'll just provide a brief summary. The City of Carson was awarded a grant for roadway improvements and has been authorized to proceed with the design work for project number 1753. University Drive from Avalon Boulevard to Wilmington Avenue. This is a federally funded project to rehabilitate the existing asphalt pavement roadway and repairing existing concrete infrastructure on University Drive between Avalon Boulevard and Wilmington Avenue. The program supplement agreement obligates up to $150,000 in STPL federal funds for the design phase of this project and requires a local city match of $17,000. And amending the fiscal year budget 24-25 in the general fund and special revenue fund, and for your review and approval.
That's
all I needed you to give that information for my residents to know that University Drive is going to be paved from Wilmington to Avalon. That has been one of the biggest concerns in the residents, that they are saying every other street seems to be being redone, but that one needs it very badly.
Yeah.
And so the residents to know that we do have federal funds that are coming in, and that roadway on University Drive will be done, and look forward in the near future for it to be completed and be able to drive a nice, smooth ride from Wilmington to Avalon. With that, I move staff's recommendation.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Madam Clerk, roll call. Oh, she's figuring it out.
Do you see it on your screens now?
No.
I see it now, but not the vote.
Update location.
Start vote. You didn't.
I see what's on the large screen at the side of the
I don't even see that.
chambers.
See? I clicked start vote. Okay. We'll work it out.
Roll call, Madam City Clerk.
Councilmember Rojas.
Yes.
Councilmember Deere.
Yes.
Councilmember Hicks.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Hilton.
Yes.
Mayor Davis Holmes.
Yes.
It's unanimous.
Item 27, Councilman Hicks.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Staff report.
Thank you, Councilmember Hicks. This item is a consideration to accept the project as complete, project number 1611. This is the traffic signal installation at the intersection of Central Avenue and Diamonddale Drive. That has been a request of Councilman Hicks for some time. On April 20th, 2021, the City Council awarded a construction contract to Crosstown Electrical and Data Incorporation for the construction of project number 1611, traffic signal installation at the intersection, again, of Central Avenue and Diamonddale, for a contract sum of $393,000 and 15% contingency, for a total project budget of $453,090. On March 7th, 2023, the City Council approved change order number 1 and provided additional funds to address costs that exceeded the project contingency, ultimately increasing the project budget to $653,000 and some change. These costs were incurred due to various unforeseen challenges during construction. This project has been completed in accordance with the approved plans and specifications. It is requested that the City Council accept the work as complete and authorize staff to file the notice of completion with the LA County Registrar Recorder / County Clerk Office under Civil Code Section 9204.
Thank you for that. Just wanted to let the residents know that we did get the traffic signal completed at Central Avenue and Diamonddale near Mills Park. The second intersection was done at Tejada and Delamo. And the third request is for Alvo and Delamo. So that's the third request. And then making sure we get the left-hand turning signal at University Drive and Central, North and South Roadway. Those are very important that those be put in place. But with that being said, I move staff's recommendation.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Roll call. Okay.
Councilmember Rojas.
Yes.
Councilmember Deere.
Yes.
Councilmember Hicks.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Hilton.
Yes.
Mayor Davis Holmes.
Yes.
It's unanimous, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Discussion items are 28 through 30. Item 28, a water construction contract to Urban Habitat. Mr. City Manager.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'll give a brief summary, and we'll have staff to provide presentation between our finance department, I believe, and as well as our public works department. This is a consider award of construction contract to Urban Habitat for project number 1368, Carriage Crest Park, expansion and improvements, and bid protest lodged by Environmental Construction Incorporated. This project, 1368 Carriage Crest Park expansion improvements, is listed in the city's capital improvement project in this program for fiscal year 23-24. The invitation for bids, number 24-19, was advertised in the Daily Journal and through the Planet Bids portal from July 25th, 2024 to September 4th, 2024. 4 firms submitted bids, under which were opened by the purchase division manager in the city clerk's office and read aloud on September 4th of 2024. The bid submitted by Urban Habitat was determined to be the lowest responsive bid, and Urban Habitat was determined to be a responsible bidder with a total amount of $23,468,000. However, Environmental Construction Incorporated, the second lowest bidder, submitted a bid protest under Section 2613 of the Carson Municipal Code, and the City Council is being asked to make a determination on the merits of the protest pursuant to Section 2613H6. If Council determines the bid protest is without merit, then staff requests that Council award a contract to Urban Habitat. If Council determines the bid protest is meritorious, then it is recommended that no contract be awarded until further investigation can be conducted by staff. With that, Madam Mayor, if I may, I'm going to have our Finance Director to provide information in regards to the bid itself, if that's okay.
Yes, please.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and Council. I'm going to give a quick overview of the ECI protest and the steps that were taken to rectify the matter on the city's end. On September 16, 2024, the city received a certified protest letter from ECI concerning urban habitats bid submitted on September 4, 2024 for the Carriage Crest expansion project. ECI's letter outlined 4 specific allegations regarding the completeness of urban habitats bid. The first one, ECI contends that Urban Habitat did not submit the required concrete installer references. Number 2, ECI alleges that Urban Habitat bid schedule was incomplete, specifically lacking the total bid amount stated in both numerical and written formats. Number 3, ECI suggests that Urban Habitat failed to provide project labor agreement letters of assent from all identified contractors. And number 4, ECI asserts that Urban Habitat did not submit the necessary equal employment opportunity certifications for all subcontractors. The city's response to ECI protests. On September 26, 2024, the city of Carson sent a response letter addressing ECI's protests. In this response, the city noted that 2 of the items raised by ECI were indeed submitted and included with the attached exhibits. The city clarified that the information for the other 2 items was not as ECI claimed. The city emphasized the importance of examining each bid irregularities on a case-by-case basis. While the city and state laws permit the waiver of certain irregularities with supplemental documentation due to the non-material nature, it is important to note that the city would not have recommended awarding the contract to Urban Habitat without the necessary additional documents. Given that the PLA and the EEO documents speak solely to the bidder's ability to comply with the required project labor agreement and do not pose material difference, the city authorized waiver as allowed, both by applicable law and state throughout the city's bid documents. Given that the city has now received the supplemental documents, particularly those ensuring compliance with the PLA, the city is positioned to move forward, whereas in the event Urban Habitat were unable to supply the documents, the city would not be in the position to move forward. Additionally, the decision to proceed with Urban Habitat's bid was influenced by the fact that the next lowest bid was $2 million higher than Urban Habitat's. We had a follow-up communication on September 30th, 2024. A follow-up conversation took place between the city purchasing manager and a representative from ECI to discuss the city's response to the protest letter. We had another ECI rebuttal later on September 2024. ECI hand-delivered a rebuttal letter addressing the city's response. In this letter, ECI reiterated their concerns regarding 3 specific items, which was the waiver of project labor and the EEO certifications, discrepancies in the bid schedule. In response, the city referred ECI back to its letter dated September 26, reinforcing that the city has the authority under its purchasing policies and state law to waive non-material irregularities without supplemental documentation. The city also addressed the clerical errors noted by ECI despite these concerns being raised after the protest period indicated in the city's municipal code section 2613, clarifying that these did not impact the validity of the lowest bid of Urban Habitat and had not withdrawn their proposal. In the city's case, the general process required bidders submit their bid sheets with a bid total in at least 2 different formats, one through planted bid and once as a supplemental attachment document. In this case, the city's bid documents, which ECI and all other bidders received, reviewed, and acknowledged by making their bid submission in response to this IFP, clearly indicate the city's rights as allowable by law in the event of a discrepancy in the bid sheets. More specifically, the city's general provisions on page 19 read as follows. The undersigned also agrees that if there is a discrepancy between the written amount of the bid price and the numerical amount of the bid price, the written amount shall govern, which is the case at hand. That concludes my my outline of what transpired on the protest.
Thank you. Any questions from my colleagues?
Yes, Madam Mayor.
Councilman?
Okay, so clarification, so a project labor agreement is in effect on this project because it's public money, correct?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the
To the
first part
city
of your
manager and his staff.
That's correct.
Okay, and second question is, these bid discrepancies are a lot of money, millions of dollars. So what is it that, I look at the highest bidder is 29.9 million, so almost $30 million. While the bid the staff recommends is $23.5 million. But what is it that Environmental Construction Incorporated would provide on this project? Since there's a $2 million difference, what would they be providing that Urban Habitat's not providing? Can the staff explain in layman's terms what the difference is? And then maybe you could also mention a little bit about the $26 million bid, the $29.9 million bid.
Yes, sir.
It's a big amount of money.
Yes. My duties was just to handle the protest. I'll now turn it over to our Public Works Director, Dr. Arlington Rogers, who will certainly fill that question for you.
Okay, that's fine.
Mr. Raymond Velasco is the project manager on this project. He'll provide some insight to your questions.
Mike.
Good evening, Mayor and Mayor Pro Tem and City Council. To best answer that question, all the bid items are in fair bidding practice, so it's really out of our control on how they're going to bid on each item. There's 120 some bid items in here, so some contractors bid high on certain items and some don't, and so it's really not our control. Our review here is we make sure that the math is done correctly on each bid item by each contractor. It happens to be that Urban Habitat happens to be the lowest bidder. So
in other words, overall, when you add them all up, they just ended up $2 million.
Correct.
Less. Well, I mean, we like the fact that they can do the same job at the lowest responsible bidder, that they can do it because we want to save taxpayers money.
Correct.
Even though there's grant money involved with it, it still becomes Carson City taxpayers' money once we accept the grant. And the bidder, have they, this park is going to be unique when it's complete. It'll be the second park with a pickleball court, but it'll be the first park with a designed and purposely built pickleball court, not a transition from a tennis court. And also we're going to have the dog park. So has the bidder any experience in building dog parks, for instance? Because I've seen a lot of dog parks in different cities, and some are really nice and some are not so. So we, our first one should be really, what's the word for it?
Impeccable.
Iconic for the city of Carson. When people come to Carson and they come to the dog park here, they say, hey, Carson has the best dog park. That's a positive attribute. What do you think?
yeah, so the general contractor is able to do various types of construction, generally a contractor, excuse me. And so they hire subcontractors that does specialties, for example. But a dog park, in essence, is really a flat, just another section of the park. But there's not really special irrigation, but there's irrigation and there's fencing, there's mulch. So it's up to our inspectors and our team to make sure that the plans are implemented correctly and constructed correctly during construction.
Is
So
it going to
everything's
be
on the plans.
artificial turf or
Not the
natural grass?
dog park. Not the dog park. The dog
Natural
park's going to be it's a mix of dirt and sand, but not grass because it will not survive during because of that
You're going
purpose.
to dig holes in it.
Right. Right. No, we don't.
I had
we
a
don't
dog
want
that
that.
dug a
And not
dozen
mulch
holes.
either, so that would not be dog friendly.
Right. Okay. Thank you. I'm complete, Madam Mayor.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to piggyback off what you're saying. These bids are sealed, and everyone has the same opportunity to bid on what's in the bid package. We don't get involved in that. Some are a little more greedier than others. Some say I can do it at this price. So when the bids come in, we look at, have they met our specifications? And if they met our specification and they're a reputable company, we don't get into what you can provide. You're providing what we asked for. It's basically whatever's in that bid package, okay? So we want to clarify, the city does not get in, they send out the bid package. Whoever bids, they know what they're bidding on, okay? So thank you for that presentation, and
Sure.
I know the Carriage Crest Park is waiting patiently
Yes, they are.
for the renovation of this park, as well as a couple of our others. Anyone else? MPT?
As a staff, do we believe we met the benchmark to go ahead and move forward? Because we don't want to hold up our park.
That's correct, Mayor Pro Tem. Yes, based upon the review through our legal team as well as our staff, the recommendation still holds true before you tonight to either accept the lowest bidder or any other bidder that's listed there. Dr. Lennox.
Yeah, Mayor Pro Tem and Madam Mayor, just before you weigh in on the recommendations 2 through 4, number 1 should be handled first and independently. And just a reminder that I believe you have a public speaker on this protest as well.
Yes. What's your name? Okay, we're gonna, should I hear the speaker first before we rule? Thank you. Matt,
It's a good idea to do that. Public speakers should.
let me,
address us.
Mr. Come on down, introduce yourself again.
Hi, council members. My name is Aria Strudy. Should I start?
Yes.
President of Environmental Construction. I'm here to address our bid protest regarding the Carriage Crest Park expansion project, specifically related to the irregularities of Urban Habitat's bid. Urban Habitat's bid was missing critical documents, as was mentioned, the project labor agreement and the equal employment opportunity certifications. These documents, although waived by the city, were to be included with the bid. The bid documents were specific that they shall be included in the bid or the bid shall be rejected. These weren't optional. Yet despite this clear language, the purchasing division chose to waive this requirement. As a company that invested significant time, effort, and resources to ensure every requirement is met, this decision feels like a slap in the face. If providing these documents wasn't important at the time of the bid, why include a rule in the bid that the documents, such as the PLA, must be submitted with the bid? What's the point of having rules if they can be just waived after the fact? Waiving these irregularities undermines the competitive fairness of the process. Companies like ECI, who followed the rules and submitted everything on time, are essentially being penalized for adhering to their requirements, while others may benefit from the purchasing division's discretion to overlook those same requirements. This sends a troubling message to all bidders. Why invest the time and resources to meet deadlines and comply with bid requirements if they can simply be waived? When the purchasing division selectively waives bid requirements, it risks undermining the credibility of the public bidding process. How can we have confidence in a process where the rules are bent based on convenience or price? This is more than just about one project. If the decision stands, it sets a dangerous precedent where rules can be selectively enforced. We could end up with a bidding process driven not by fairness, but by subjectivity, where irregularities are weighed for some, but not for others. Therefore, I urge you, City Council, to please reconsider this decision, not just for the integrity of this project, but for the integrity of future projects. Thank you. And I will also add to Councilman Deere's what separates our company from Urban Habitats. We are a fully union company. So all of our employees are union companies, and I'll just add that Urban Habitats, although there is a PLA, are not a signatory to the unions.
Thank you. To the staff, the PLA was not included in the document?
No, ma'am, it was not included in the document at that time, but the stance that we're taking is first that it was not illegal, nothing illegal was done. But the city's position that we needed to examine each bid irregularities on a case-by-case basis. In this case, while we are legally permitted to waive the irregularity without supplemental documents provided because the defect was non-material, in reality, the city would have not moved forward with the recommendation to the award to UH without those additional documents. So what I'm saying is that they didn't have the documents in at that time, but they did submit the documents. And because of non-material nature, and also the fact that the next lowest bidder was $2 million, we decided to use judicial judgment and just hold off to make sure that they got everything in. But they did get everything in. And if it would have been, just an example, if it would have been maybe a couple of $100,000, then we could have moved to the next one. But we felt $2 million difference was a huge difference in that.
Madam City Attorney.
And I can
Excuse me. Madam City Attorney.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just want to supplement what Mr. Williams is saying. State law and your bidding requirements allow the city to waive bid irregularities that are not material. What is material? Material would have been if they didn't include a bucket of price and then all of a sudden they said, oh no, our bid is this much less or more. Once they've seen other people's bids and they change the price, that would be a material. And the city would not be able to waive such an irregulatory. But here, they forgot to include two documents. It was not material on the price, on the bid, and under state law. And we've cited the letters, all of their correspondence and all of the city attorney's office responses is hereby made part of the record, and we'll make sure the city clerk has it. We've cited to all the case law that allows you and gives you the discretion to waive any irregulatory that's not material. I'm telling you under state law, the points that they're raising are not material, so you have the discretion to waive it and go with the lowest responsible bidder.
My colleagues.
Madam Mayor, I have a question about the duration of the project itself. What are we anticipating? I think you mentioned at the last council meeting, possibly, or the meeting before. How long will the park be closed to the public during construction? And did the bidders give any indication of how long they would need to complete the project? Was that part of the bid? So it's a two-part question.
Could you repeat that last part?
Yeah, you got the first part about how long it'll be closed, but when the bids came in, did they indicate to the city staff how long it would take for them to complete the project? In other words, hypothetically, if someone says, well, I can do it in 18 months, but another company says, well, I need 2 years, that's hypothetical. But in this case, what is the difference in time, if there is any?
So the contractor all bid based on 180 working days, which is about 9 months, give or take maybe 9 to 10, 11 months. That's what we're looking at. So the contractor is not bidding on the number of days it's gonna take for them to complete the project. Everybody's bidding on 180 working days.
I see. Okay. All right.
Anyone else? All right, Councilman Hicks.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just have a concern through the city attorney. So what the forms that were turned in after the fact is considered what again?
It's not material that it was missing, but they did submit it. They eventually did submit it. But under state law, it's not a material irregulatory that would require the council to deny it. It's immaterial. It's not critical. Therefore, you have the discretion to waive the irregulatory and award the bid. For example, if they had come back and they had said, oh, a PLA, well, that changes the price of our bid, and the price went up or something like that, you would have to reject it. But they forgot to just submit it. Now they have submitted it. It's not a material irregulatory. Does that make sense?
And their price stayed the same?
It stayed the same.
And the difference between the lowest bidder and the next bidder is 2 million?
2 million plus, yes.
And what is the difference between the second bidder and the third bidder?
I don't know.
3 million. Almost 3 million.
It's on your, it's on the staff
I
report.
just want them to say it for the record.
The third bidder was
900, about 900-ish.
About 900,000? Okay. All righty. Thank you.
So my first request is that we rule on the merits of the bid protest submitted by the lowest bidder, Environmental Construction. That's the first order of the day for this agenda.
So you have to either move to waive it or not waive it, exactly.
To waive,
So if you're inclined to award the construction contract to Urban Habitat, you would have to first waive the irregularities of their bid.
well, I make a motion to do just what you said. It's been moved and properly second. Any conversation on the question?
Yes.
On the motion?
I have conversation.
Councilman Deere.
Thank you. In our rules, as described, it says they shall provide documents, and they did not. So how is it that we think it's okay to not follow the rules? I mean, you know, Carson has that reputation of not following the rules or bending the rules for certain people. We're trying to get away from that negative reputation. So why are we saying you shall provide these, and then we're rewarding them for not doing what they're asked to do? So that's the
Well,
question.
I will let her respond.
And
but
what
you-
does shall mean, you know?
You say you
legally?
shall provide it, but then you reserve the discretion to waive it also. But I'll let her elaborate on that.
Yeah, and I just want to reiterate that the PLA was submitted for the primary contractor. The PLA documents that are referenced are in regards to the subcontractors.
And I'm sorry.
My name is Josela Tongiel. I'm the city's purchasing manager.
Very good, okay.
In addition to that, I do want to state that the city's rights are reserved and stated within the bid documents. It's not any foreign language to any of the bidders. The bidders review, acknowledge, and accept the terms of the bid documents that we release, and they're allowed to pose questions as well as raise any concerns during the job walks. So.
I see. You know, that's a clear explanation. I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a
It makes sense. Uh-huh.
The subcontractor, not the.
Right. It was supplemental forms from subcontractors.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? It's been moved and properly second, moved by myself, second by MPT. Roll call, or are we casting our votes? Yeah, I see something. Hit what? Oh, I see it. I hit the glass. We'll back up. Just hit the glass.
So clarification, this is a vote only on number one.
Yes.
Yes, that's correct.
And that is
To waive the
No,
merits.
yes,
to the
what
bid
would be to
protest.
waive the rule.
That's correct.
I see. Okay.
Madam Mayor, the vote is unanimous.
But is? Okay, thank
Oh,
you.
no, it's not. Oh.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's still blue. Sorry, it's a color. Well, the motion carries. It's 4-1, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. That's what my screen said. Okay, and the next one is to award a construction contract to the lowest responsive bidder, Urban Habitat, for project number 1368, Carriage Crest Park, expansion and improvements in the amount of $23,468,091.58. Authorize the mayor to execute the contract with Urban Habitat following approval as performed by the city attorney. Waive further reading and adopt resolution number 24-099, a resolution of the city of Carson, California, amending the fiscal year 2024 budget in the general fund and special revenue funds.
Second.
Madam Mayor, I'll move the staff recommendation as you read.
As was read, is there a second? It's been moved and properly second. MPT said second. Cast your vote. Report the vote, Madam City
Yes,
Clerk.
that one is unanimous. 5.
Thank you.
Yes.
Item number, that's 28, what are we on, 20? It's not popping up, 29, but I don't.
It's 29.
29. Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. This item is to consider award construction contract to MBC Enterprises Incorporated for project number 1636 Mills Park Site Improvements Project. This particular project is number 1636. Mills Park Site Improvements Project is listed in the city's capital improvement project and program is programmed for fiscal year 23-24, funded by Measure A funds. The invitation for bids, IFB number 24-20, was advertised in the Daily Journal and through the Planet Bids portal from August 8th to September 4th, 2024. 2 firms submitted bids, which were opened by the purchasing division manager, Gisela, who you just heard, in the city clerk's office and read aloud on September 4th, 2024. The bid submitted by MBC Enterprises Incorporated was determined to be the lowest responsive bid with a total bid amount of $3.4 million, and MBC Enterprises Incorporated was determined to be responsible. Recommendation for your and discussion, Madam Mayor and Council.
Thank you.
Any discussion?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh.
and I'll have some after the councilman.
Let's see, first one is, are you queued up, Doctor? Okay, Councilman Hicks. This is the first one.
It's working, okay. Just to the staff, in relationship to the construction for Mills Park, how long will the park be closed, or will the park be closed? And in addition to the construction that's being done, how would it affect the community? And I thought that we were going to put in the charging station, but I think Mills Park was taken off that list because the parking lot was too small, if I'm correct on that one.
That's correct. The Mills Park was removed from the EV charging project list initially because the parking lot was small, but we are looking into alternatives.
Okay.
Potentially street side.
Oh, we didn't look into, and I want to change this construction, but to look at, because that parking lot has always been a little bit too small. To actually increase it, there is some additional land to the west or to the east side of that, where you can actually put an additional parking area at Mills Park, because all of that is not used.
That green space.
Yeah, some of that green space to make it into a parking lot area.
So if I understand correctly, is this a request that you're asking to be included?
Yes.
Or amended, some type of change order?
Some type of
or-
change to actually increase that parking lot.
So there's a request from Councilmember Hicks to see if is the east side of the
It's the west side
of the parking lot or see if there's an opportunity to provide additional parking over there at Mills.
So it's a tight space, but we can look into it.
Okay.
It's
There's-
a really small parking lot, and there's not much real estate we have. It's already abutting the local street. We'll see if we have room on either the west side or the east side.
Either side will work.
Yeah, the east side, there's a trash can or enclosure there. So
Dumpster.
we'll look and see if we can gain a couple more parking stalls, if it's worth the expense.
The reason why I'm saying that, once we do all these renovations,
Mhm.
there's going to be a real premium.
They will come.
And they will come. And I'm
Mhm.
just saying, you will not have enough parking made available. 'Cause
Yeah.
the parking lot now is based upon what is there currently.
Yeah.
So when you put in the other things that are in place, it's going to be impactful. And I didn't want to impact the residents in the community by cars parking up and down the street. Get as many of them as we can on the property.
Okay.
Mr. City
We'll look
Manager,
into
if
that.
I can join in, I would suggest that we, if we are going to expand the parking lot, and I think that's a great idea, the parking lot would be expanded on the east only. We do not need to expand on the west, as it will infringe on a lot of events that we have planned annually at that particular facility, and it would definitely become an issue if it's moved on the west side. On the east side of that particular parking lot, there is a lot of dead space. It's probably about maybe 25 to 30 feet that we may be able to extend the parking lot on the backside of Mills Park.
Perfect.
On the east side, right, Mike?
East side.
On the
So
east side.
East side.
Okay.
Madam Mayor, if I
Yes.
could just add to be mindful of the item that's being discussed and considered tonight. This is for the awarded contract on the site improvements. discussing changes to that scope right now would have to be done at probably in a later bid process to ensure really the integrity of this bid process, right? If we add to this with the particular vendor in mind, it compromises all of those bids. So it should be a separate process.
Well, it could be separate as long as it's moved expeditiously. We don't want to wait. So I think you have a consensus of the council that we do want to expand the parking. So I encourage staff to do whatever it takes, because I do understand if we change this, you're talking about a whole new process, killing what we've been waiting on for years, and that park is in desperate need of attention. To the city manager, my recommendation is we would proceed with staff's recommendation, and then to direct staff to come up with a bid process that would include expanding the parking lot.
Second that motion.
May I add something, council?
Yes.
We're gonna look into the parking stall to see if we can include it in this project. We'll get a cost from the contractor, see if it's a decent cost. We'll also look at the design. Surveyor needs to come out there to see if we have room, if we have the right grade to accommodate additional stalls. So we'll do whatever we can and take advantage of that we already have a contractor at the site. And hopefully that will expedite that process.
Yeah, we want to expedite it, but we don't want to delay what we've all been working on for
Sure.
over a year.
Sure.
Okay, so any other discussion? So the recommendation is to proceed and to
Yes.
come up with an alternative. If we can, use existing fine. If not, expeditiously find us a contractor. That's my motion.
I seconded it. Madam Mayor, a couple other short answer questions. There was discussion some time ago about putting a skateboard park in Mills Park. This is a few years ago. Is that still under consideration, or the staff looked at it and said not feasible?
Thank you, Councilman.
Community doesn't want it.
Yeah, I've not heard of that such
I
request.
think it was before you were the city manager.
I don't even know if, I'm looking at the director of community services, and I don't believe he's gotten that request either, but.
Yeah, this is the first that I've heard of a skate park at Mills Park, and we did just complete our master plan through RJM, who actually met with the entire community and asked them what amenities they would like to see changed at the park, and that's how we came up with the ones that we currently have for
Very
the
good.
construction project.
Then the second question is, just for clarification, I think what Dr. Lennox was explaining, that we're voting tonight on this bid and moving forward with the project. So the points made about the parking are very relevant and very important. We don't want to impact the residents around there when the park becomes more popular. So you're saying that we possibly could ask the contractor that receives the bid to give an estimate? We don't have to go with an RFP?
Well, we'll have to look into it. We'll see what we
Okay,
can do.
well, either way.
Either way, we'll address the parking issue.
I see, okay. All right. Thank
And
you
that
very
was
much.
included
I'm
in my
complete.
motion, so any more conversation? Has it been moved and properly second? I moved it.
It has.
And-
We're
Okay,
just
cast your
waiting
vote.
on
Cast your
2 more
vote.
votes. Okay, the vote is unanimous, Madam Mayor.
Item
you. Have a
30.
good night.
Thank you. Item 30 is consideration of appointments. We'll bring that back at our next council meeting. Unless someone has.
Madam
some
Mayor?
changes. Yes.
There's been a request that, for need for quorum for Measure C and Measure K committee. So if there's any vacancies or any appointees,
Oh, we need to find some then.
yes, please.
Yes, ma'am. And then we also had a resignation from the Mobile Home Park Rental Review Board.
We did, I received that.
Okay. So if you, whose vacancies are there? Could you let us know?
I sure can, just one moment. Measure C and Measure K. Dr. Hilton and Madam Mayor, alternate 2.
Alternate, but the rest of my appointees are there.
They are there.
Okay.
Measure C and Measure K Budget Oversight Committee.
You don't have
Madam
enough
Mayor.
for a quorum?
Madam Mayor.
Excuse me a second.
There's just been a request from the department that,
We fill those vacancies?
yes.
Madam Mayor, no, we don't have enough for a quorum. We hadn't had a meeting and missed the last 3 meetings. due to
Okay,
that.
who's been missing? Could you provide me with my appointees and each appointee? We know Councilman, MPT has one. But anyone whose appointee has not been showing up, please let them know. I know we've had one person that haven't showed up at all, and he's been on. I don't know, I won't call his name, but I think we need to talk to my Councilman Deere about one of these other commissioners appointees out here.
Yes, Madam Mayor, on that issue, if you look at page 8,
Mm-hmm.
under Measure C and Measure K Budget Oversight Committee, I believe Mr. Flinton is on another commission, Public Safety Commission, so that makes sense that he's not attending the Measure K and Measure C.
Did we remove him? We need,
Well, I mean, if he's been transferred to another
whose
commission,
appointee is he?
Councilwoman Rojas is.
Resigned from that measure. Okay.
And you appointed him to
Yes.
another commission?
Yes.
Okay, we need to correct
So
that.
he freed.
So you have to indicate it on this chart that's before us.
I need to ensure that we receive the resignation.
Well, he was reappointed. He was removed from one commission and placed upon another. So he didn't have to, the councilwoman put him on a different commission.
I think that when we, I think this might have been a unchallengeable appointment, so we probably didn't go to a ratification vote. We wouldn't normally do that, because normally you would transfer someone from one commission to another, all in one act. You would remove them from one commission and appoint them to another in the same motion. But because we have the system now with unchallenged and unratified appointments, we probably forgot to do that.
Well, whatever the reason is, he's not on the Measure C. He's on another commission. So you have an opening on your Measure C and Measure K, and we need to fill that. Councilman Hicks, your person is good. Okay. So we'll bring it back at
Madam Mayor, you mentioned you thought one of my
at a different,
members-
on a different commission. But
which
I don't
one?
need to call his name, I'll let you know.
Say again?
Sidebar.
Sidebar, okay. We can talk afterwards.
Okay.
Sure.
Anyone else?
I'm just thinking that the clerk brought it to our attention. This is the same commission I was talking about earlier, that my appointee was threatening to resign because they kept going and nobody was showing up and not having a meeting. No quorum. Yes.
Okay. Who chairs that commission, staff?
Measure C.
Measure K. Who's the staff person on that?
That's our Revenue Director, Antonio Vasco. The reason for the meetings not being held, when we send out the meetings in the invite, the participants say they're going to show up, and then the last day they just don't show up. So it's not like we've been trying to be preventive, but they just don't show up and don't tell us they're not going to show up.
Okay, let's reach out again and tell them
It's not an ask.
either they show up or they let us know who doesn't show up.
Don't they automatically get removed, Madam Mayor, after three absences in a row?
With this new system that we have, then a whole lot of them will be removed. But I just need staff to be mindful of the fact that if we have a commission that has been consistently absent to all the commissions, you need to let us know, the appointee, because we get one, each of us get one uncontested and the rest of them comes to the mayor. So we need to know. And commissions that we were not having a quorum, they've been meeting, your environmental, your public safety, your public works, your parks and rec, your women's issues, youth, you finally got our youth going. So we just need to be notified when there's, we don't have enough for a quorum, because missing 3 meetings, you need to let the council person that appointed them know.
That's right.
Okay? So
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
At the request of the city manager, when the city clerk's office is notified of the 3 absences, then we send out the letter letting them know that they have been removed as they are no longer qualified to sit on the commission due to excessive absences. What I do in that case is I send a courtesy email to all of you letting you know, member A has had 3 absences. I'd like to move forward with the letter. If you all say, sure, go ahead, that's what I do.
Thank
If you
you.
all say, let me give him a call, I think he's been sick or she's been on vacation, then I wait. So I communicate with the council aides as well. The larger piece to that is I have to be notified or someone on my staff have to be notified. So departments are getting better at sending attendance reports. I think in this case with the finance department, they did an excellent job. They reached out, they sent an email, they called and said, we need to meet, this is the issue that we're having, and then we got on it. I think in this particular case, because one member was reassigned, there's no automatic process. None of the CCB process is automated. It's all manual, and it's not primarily held in the clerk's office. It's spread across each department that houses it. So we try to work collectively with each staff person that staffs the commission, which department it's in. Everybody kind of does their own thing. Some people staff the commissions really differently. So the biggest thing is getting the consistent attendance reports. And so as I mentioned, departments are getting a lot better with that, sending us notifications and letting us know. But if we don't know that they're absent, then I can't communicate to you all that you need to make another appointment.
Thank you. I appreciate that because the ball lies in our court sometimes, and sometimes we just don't do what we're supposed to do. Because I'm going to make a request tonight, and I don't know who appointed him and what commission he's on, but he wasn't my appointee. But whatever commission he's on, I'd like to remove Mr. Polito for safety reasons. Whose appointee is that? Rick Polito?
Is he actually on a commission?
Is he on a commission?
I don't.
He's on a committee.
Yes, he's on the
On the mobile home
Mobile Park Rental Review Board,
appointed by
Councilmember Rojas.
Councilmember Rojas?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to remove him.
You don't need to.
already
You're uncontested. You just remove him.
Thank you.
We'll post the vacancy tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you very much. We don't need to. That's our uncontested. She can put whoever she. Yeah, that's our uncontested. Post the vacancy. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. That item, we don't need to vote on. Bring it back at the next commission. And a lot of these vacancies expire on the 30th anyway. That'll be right after the election. So, okay. Next is memorial adjournments.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. These are the names that I received. Mrs. Uche Nwosu, Francis Smith, Gerald Covington, Dr. Boris Bo Ricks, Lucille Smith, Daryl Perkins.
Anyone like to add? Or not like to, but do you have any additions?
Kimmy Newsom.
Kenny Newsom.
Kimmy Newsom. Kimmey, last name Newsom.
Was she an employee?
Family member, brother.
John Amos.
You got it.
And also Dikembe Milano Mutombo.
Yes. You said it good.
Anyone else have any unfortunate? Lucille
Mr.
Smith.
Pete Rose.
AKA Charlie Hustle.
That's enough. Lucille Smith was my auntie. She's in Memphis, Tennessee. She lived a good life, and she took her wings. So I'm kind of devastated for the family, but she was 80-some years old, beautiful woman. So Mr. MPT Bishop.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I would also like to add Sandy Davis. He was a resident of Carson for like 40 years. He was funeralized yesterday. Let's bow our heads. Father, and we pray for all of the families whose names have been read tonight. We pray that you would bless their families, give them strength, and give them peace and comfort. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Council member, let's take this off because they can, council requests, we'll add those on when we're meeting, that, take it off the agenda. All communications for council members?
Madam Mayor,
Yes, Councilman.
just want to make an announcement for our residents to know Metro has a project on the 405 freeway between Maine and Wilmington. And they're in the process of doing an extension till comment period until Monday, May the 21st. And because of the meeting that we went to that was on the 25th, I think it was, of September, that they've extended the scoping period. So there will be a new meeting on Wednesday, October the 16th from 6 to 7:30 at the Carson Event Center in the East Wing. Residents, please come out and give your concerns and voice about it's the 405 freeway expansion or auxiliary lanes that are going to be put in for your on-ramps and off-ramps for the location. My concern is making sure that there will be no extension and taking over eminent domain land along the thoroughfare of the streets. How long will this project last? Will they impact the arterial roads that connects to the 405 freeway? And that information on you guys, for our residents to come out and voice what other concerns may be out there. I did talk about beautification of the ramps and making sure they look aesthetically pleasing, graffiti removal, and other issues that may be pertaining to this project. But I implore that you residents need to come out Wednesday, October the 16th from 6 to 7:30 at the Carson Event Center. And I want to say thanks to all of the residents and to Venice Clinic for the Mills Park event for the food giveaway. Very well received by the residents. We gave out food to over 200 families in the city of Carson. And we'll be doing a second one at Callis Park on November the 1st. Flyers and information will be coming out forthwith and regarding that coming up. And I'm complete, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Councilwoman.
Yes, we have October 12th is the,
Go on.
you're good.
I'm good.
October 12th is the Philippine American History Month at Carson Community Center. I want to thank everybody here, staff, Madam Mayor, for allowing Apple the app to receive a key, and he will also be present on October 12th. There'll be a car show and an adobo cook-off. And also on October 25th, we have the Larry Itliong Day celebration, once again here at the Carson Community Center. And we are having for the first time, Larry Itliong, the musical, will be coming to that event, as well as his son, Johnny Itliong, will be the key speaker. So please remember those two dates for Filipino American History Month, October 12th and October 25th. Thank you very much.
MPT.
Madam Mayor, I just want to announce that we'll be having a town hall meeting in District 1 on Thursday. That's this Thursday, October 3rd, 2024 at Stevenson Park at 6:30. I have invited guests. I'm inviting our mayor. Our mayor's going to be there, our city clerk, our public works director, our public safety, our sheriff's captain will be in attendance. We're just bringing City Hall to the mighty District 1. So I would love to see everybody in District 1. If you have questions, we are basically going on this listening session to just kind of inform the residents of what's going on in the mighty District 1, the prosperous mighty District 1, $8 billion worth of infrastructure being put in that district alone. So I just wanted to pause and say that. Together we're making a difference in District 1. So we'll see you in District 1 on Thursday night, October 3rd. And wanted to just say to the incredible staff at Stevenson Park and the volunteers last week, we had an opportunity to thank the volunteers who worked for the Fam Fest with a 3-course meal, and just was excited to be able to provide that to them as a way of just saying thank you. So wanted to just appreciate them again, the volunteers who volunteered for the Fam Fest.
Councilman Deere, I don't see you queued up. You want to speak?
Let's see, I do. Oh, first I have a question before I do oral communication. Did you mention that you don't want to have council member requests to add items to future agendas, on future agendas?
Yeah, because you guys, well, you can talk to myself or the city manager, and we'll put them on.
Okay, because, so I will mention it under oral communications in that case.
You can put it on, it's up there tonight. Go on if you have
It's on,
something.
it's on the agenda tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll do that after I do the oral communications. All right, so, when the city manager gave his report about the quarterly report, there were some statements there about not doing a class and comp for 30 years. We did a class and comp within the last 30 years, so I don't know why that was, maybe not to that degree or that type. That's possibly it's different, so I'm not saying you're wrong necessarily, but I am questioning why that comment was made. You don't need to defend yourself. I'm just remarking about it. It's observation, not a judgment. Then on a more serious matter, if you know, we have 4 bargaining units, and as the MPT might also concur, it does seem that there's a disconnect between the city employees that are represented by the 4 bargaining units and the management and the city council members who get information from the management. Because you notice they stood up and walked out in unison. They're sending us a message that they're not happy. And we should heed that message. I, for one, feel that the city employees need to be treated with more respect. The city employees need to be at the table with everything from MOUs to negotiations, of course. Naturally, that's going to be there, but also vision and future plan for the city. They need to be more incorporated into the family that we all are. That's the elected officials, the city staff, of the 600 plus city staff, full-time and part-time. And so I just want to make that public comment that they stood up in unison and walked out. They're sending us a message. Let's not be blind to that message. All right, then I also want to comment on another subject, and that is the Mariachi Fiesta that took place last week on a Friday. Wonderful entertainment. Food was good. It was a really great experience. I really enjoy it every year, and I just think that we should maybe stay a little longer. I mean, I stayed to the very end, but I would encourage my colleagues to join me and stay at least a respectful amount of time instead of leaving right away. It sends the wrong message. Okay, so and then I'll speak under the next item, but I'm complete on this one, other than good night to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. First of all, let me say that Local 809 was not here tonight. That's the largest unit that we have in the city. And I think them standing up and leaving was SEIU, not that we disrespect them. To the city staff and directors, I want to thank you for involving all of the employees in union negotiations. And, you know, I know MPT is in constant contact with various employees, and we already knew ahead of time that they were going to show up and leave. It wasn't being disrespectful. It was what they had planned to do in the first place. But 809 was not here, and other units were not here. And it was just a way of coming out showing their unity, not that we were disrespecting them. So I disagree with that comment. I think our employees are respected, you know, so some say everybody, you can't make everybody happy, but I think our employees are happy with the way we treat them. You can say that in the last 3 years, and they're the highest paid in the South Bay, and with the best benefits, and they're at the 75 percentile, so they are included in the process. So you'll have some that want to, you're never going to satisfy them, but we do the best that we can for our city and our city employees, and that's something that this council has strived to do. As it relates to the Mariachi Fest, I was there. I had 3 events that same day, and you can't be in all places at all times. And I do thank you, Councilman Deere, for staying till the end, but I'm sure there
You're
were
welcome.
other reasons
I
too.
represented all of us
I
very well.
appreciate that. I was there, and the councilwoman had an event, Cedric Hicks had an event, but 3 events in one night from 6 to 7, I cannot be at all of them all the time. I spent the same amount of time at all events, and I was there, and I greeted everybody ahead of time to let them know I will not be here, but I love you all very much, and this event is planned for you. And thank you to the staff for doing a wonderful job. It was a great event that evening, and that's what we do. We plan events, but we can't all be there all the time. Like my Mayor Pro Tem says, I won't say what he says, but it's a good thing. Edison, good news, Madam City Attorney. We protested the fee increase, and where are we now? They wanted $17, and they ended up negotiating. No, you don't want to say it?
Sorry, it's Cal Water.
Cal Water, I'm sorry.
And they were proposing a 17.6% increase, and now it is a 6 to 7%, something like that.
Thank you, and that comes from us sending a letter saying we're going, what did the letter say? It was nice and stern. Heck, but we did send a letter protesting
It was a
that.
protest letter
It was
that
a
it's
protest letter.
unreasonable and they didn't have the backup for the high increase.
Yeah, you can't balance your budget on our backs, basically. It's what it boiled down to. Councilman Hicks and I attended the 405 freeway meeting, and I must say the residents were not there. And so to all the residents that have a new date, you need to be there and attend and have some input in this. You know, one of the things we asked was, we didn't want this project to affect us, the LA 28 that's going to be coming to our great city. And like they said, these are proposals. They haven't gone anywhere with them. They're just going out to see what the community wants. But it's just recommendations, and they may end up doing nothing. That's another option that they had on the table. That was number 1. So to our residents on October 16th, take time from your busy schedule and attend these meetings, because it's going to affect you here in the city of Carson, our city. And you know, we want landscaping done. We want some community benefits. If you're going to come into the city, give us something other than some concrete. Let's have some plants and a nice view. Also attended the Carson High School 40th anniversary. Was that something? That was awesome. Banning and Carson coming together under one umbrella without trying to tear each other's throats out, you know, because they've been in competition with each other for the longest. So that was a wonderful event, and we presented them with this certificate, Councilman and I. That was one event that I had to attend that night. And then the Jazz Festival. Everyone have the VIP pass? It's this Saturday from 11 to 6 at Anderson Park. Are we ready to go?
We're ready.
We're ready. I have never seen so many rails at a park in my life. Ooh, who planned that? But anyway, the park will be ready for everyone listening. To all the staff, if you're coming out, you should have a VIP parking pass, which will let you in the gate, and it has your name on it. So don't be trying to pass it on to someone else. Okay, if you're not going to show up, don't use the pass. So it's not transferable, in other words. The Women's Health Conference is 2 weeks after that on the 18th. My Lulu girls, where are you, Lulu girls? They have been working around the clock on these 2 events. I always look, oh yeah, they've been working around the clock. 2 magnificent ladies, and I just want to thank you guys for working with the staff and the nonprofits and keeping me informed as to what was going on, because I have not been able to attend these meetings, as you know. Thank you to the Carson Citizens Cultural Arts Foundation And with that, and MPT has one more thing. Oh, I have one more thing too. Go on.
I apologize, Madam Mayor, but I do want to wish my chairmate a happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Oh, did we
it's,
forget?
and it's also her field deputy's birthday as well, same exact day.
Ooh, intentional. Let's sing happy birthday to both of them. Day to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
dear
Arlene and Kristen. Happy birthday to you.
and many more.
Happy.
Oh, okay. I had one other request. I was out at Scott Park for Sia Park. Forgive me, for Sia Park. There was a request to consider converting those tennis courts to pickleball, like we did at Hemingway. And I mentioned to them that I know there's been a lot of work planned, but that was a request from about 25 people that play tennis.
Madam Mayor, we have a lot of tennis players that play at Foysia Park. We only have 2 courts as opposed to parks like Anderson that have 4. I have another plan that's in place right now for us to add a pickleball court. We have a handball wall that's there near the basketball courts that's never used.
Ever.
And so I have a plan that I'm putting together now to have a pickleball court put in that particular space.
Okay. And whoever's in charge of the Public Works Commission, there you are. The projects that we're working on now, could you involve the Public Works Commission in those projects? I know you're keeping them updated, but they want to be more involved, the Public Works Commission, in what's going on in the city.
Certainly.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And I've mentioned it to them that, you know, we got a lot of dirt moving, and you should know where the dirt is being moved.
Yes, ma'am, we can do
Okay. So that was it for me. Thank you for the sheriff. Where are they? They left us? Okay. You got your eyes on them? Okay, I don't want to leave here unsupervised. Okay, you had something to add, Mr. Counselor?
Yes, under council members' request to add items, I'm very happy to hear that the road takeover ordinance, I gave a copy of an ordinance from another municipality many months ago, and I've asked for this many times to be on the agenda. I understand it's coming close to fruition. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct. This staff is almost complete in that assessment, and then they'll be bringing it forward.
Great, because I think it's really important. It adds safety to our community, and that's why I brought it up. So thank you very much for moving forward. Even though it was a little slow, it's still moving forward, and I think that's the important part. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Again, thank you to this wonderful staff for all that you do and helping us to move the city in the right direction. Councilwoman.
I keep doing this. I keep forgetting. I do have something. Tomorrow, we do have a town hall meeting at Foysia Park, but it's in conjunction with the Volunteer Association that is going to be ran by Parks and Rec staff, and we are going to do the updates on Foysia Park. So it's tomorrow, 6:30, Foysia Park.
I think it's on my calendar.
Yes,
It is.
It is.
And Madam Mayor, my council aide is Brian Legaspi. Brian, could you come forward for a second?
Hi, Brian.
Brian, could you answer this question, please? Is it, come to the podium, we won't hear you otherwise. Is it confirmed about the community meeting that we're going to have at IHOP Restaurant? Is the date confirmed and time? The date is? October 12th?
On Tuesday, yeah.
Tuesday, October 12th. So to my colleagues and to the members of the public, Assemblyman Josh Lowenthal is going to be here in Carson for a community meeting. I'm hosting the Assemblyman at this community meeting. It'll be at the IHOP restaurant on Tuesday the 12th, not the 15th?
The 15th, the 15th.
The 15th, okay, that's for that. So on the 15th of October, and the public is welcome to see, to come to ask any questions or to meet the Assemblyman Josh Lowenthal. Thank you very much. I'm complete, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Anything from staff? Hearing going once? Hi. Welcome back from vacation. Hearing no other further comments. This meeting is adjourned, and I think IT wants to talk to each one of us individually about downloading some app. I don't even know how to do that, so you don't want to talk to me. So if you like an app download for some reason, you can stay and talk to staff. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Gary?